Team, rally up. We've got a new mission. Operation Lightning Strike. The situation at Zero Dam is now very serious, with conflicts escalating between Havoc Corps and Alsara Guard. It's time to take action. Objective: collect and decode the Manu brick located at the tourist center of the southeast region. Luna, start the briefing.
Roger. The objective location is heavily guarded. Travel light and silence your weapons. I'll scout the enemy activity at the main gate. Heavy machine gunner at the gate. Aim for their head. Rocketeers have heavy firepower, but weak defenses. Be alert for Saeed Ziaten. Stay sharp and move quickly. Go. Hostile, 12 o'clock.
Tango down. Hold. Shield bear, second floor. On my mark. Move. Contact! Go hard! Drag first! Go! Watch your six!
After collecting the brick, move to the Decipher station. Utilize container to deploy defenses. Shepard, position traps at entry. Hostiles will attack from all directions. D-Wolf, maintain high mobility for fire support. Luna, reconnaissance from high ground.
Hostile inbound, from the east.
Roger, ready to engage. 1 minute remaining. Engaging, take cover.
Stay alert. It's not over yet. Make a swift transition to the extraction point. Remember, the mission is only complete upon successful extraction. That's your mission. Good luck, operators.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zipline all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate?
Hello, I'm Corey.
Hi, I'm Trevor.
我们是 Delta Force 的安全团队，负责保障大家游戏时的账户和资产安全，为大家提供公平、无作弊的游戏环境。
我们团队已经有了近20年的安全游戏运营经验，为 CODM 在内的多款知名游戏提供了全球化的安全服务。
我们工作里经常会有一些大家听起来不明觉厉的专业术语。如果我讲那些的话，我估计你很快就会关掉视频了。所以这一次，我们打算用更加通俗易懂的方式来跟大家聊一聊。
让我们先从反外挂的原理开始说起。安全服务呢，主要分为加固与反外挂。如果把游戏比作一个房子的话，那么加固就是这个房子的防盗门，用来抵挡坏人，也就是恶意程序的入侵。而反外挂功能，则是我们在防盗门后面又增加了很多陷阱、防御乃至反制的措施。当坏人突破我们的防盗门的时候，我们就可以用这些措施与坏人进行对抗，进一步的消灭恶意程序。
我们的加固和反外挂方案都经历了多年大量用户的验证。每年我们都会跟市面上同类的产品进行技术对比，我们的防御能力、识别外挂的准确度和数量都是全球领先的，也获得了很多玩家的认可。其实安全防护的工作有很多种，但我相信大家最关注的应该就是反外挂了。那么提到反外挂，我们用最简单易懂的方式将它分拆成2步。第一步是发现外挂，第2步是处理外挂。
我们先聊聊怎么去发现外挂。这主要有2个途径。其一呢，就是我们会使用安全工具对游戏数据进行监测，去及时的发现异常的一些情况，并且对它们进行实时处理。当然这就涉及到非常多不同的技术细节了。举个例子来说， FPS 游戏最常见的外挂就是透视和自瞄，而它们的实现是有一些共性的。我们会对这些共性进行全量的监测，一有问题就可以立刻发现。而且目前我们已经实现了对所有玩家的对局进行监测，一旦有异常行为，比如远距离抢别人箱子了，玩家直接飞上天了，我们都可以立刻记录并实时处理。
上面提到的这些发现外挂的手段，在 PC 端和移动端会略有差别，但原理是一致的。
除了这些技术手段之外呢，我们也会主动的去发现外挂的渠道，潜伏到外挂的社群里去探查敌情，购买外挂回来跟我们进行分析，以便找到更快的处理他们的办法。
说到这里，大家就应该能够理解为什么我们要戴口罩了吧？说不定我们也要去当卧底，得预防一下被做外挂的认出来。
是的呀，外挂在暗，我们在明，可是得好好的长点心眼儿。
前面提到的都是我们主动去发现外挂的途径，另一种很重要的途径就是通过玩家举报了。我们为三角洲行动配备了非常丰富的举报方式，游戏内在结算页、聊天窗口、历史战绩页都能通过很简单的操作对外挂和违规进行举报。在游戏外，你也可以在各种社群和客服渠道进行留言。我们有专人对这些举报进行实时的统计和收集。
不过呢，收到玩家的举报并不等同于发现外挂，我们也会对被举报人的情况进行详细的核实，实锤之后才会进入外挂处理流程。不管外挂是怎么被发现的，我们的处理原则都是实时处罚。我们会尽快实现对作弊玩家的封禁以及对外挂利用漏洞的封补。当然，技术日新月异，外挂的种类也越来越多，对抗有一些外挂的时候，可能处理时间会长一些。
在封禁作弊玩家、封堵外挂利用的游戏漏洞之后，我们会将新发现的外挂案例录入我们的后台数据库，这样当这外挂再出现的时候，安全工具就能快速的响应，让这些外挂马上失效。
可能有的玩家会问，为什么我们说我们技术过硬，外挂处理也很及时，但却一直无法根治外挂呢？这就要谈到 FPS 的特性了。FPS 游戏为了让玩家有最好的游戏体验，注定要将一部分的计算逻辑放在玩家的客户端，也就是电脑上，这就给了外挂作者非常大的可乘之机。而现如今，计算机的不断进步，又使得这些黑产团队不断的推出更新、更复杂的外挂形式，也使得我们不断的要更新自己的能力来对他们进行对抗。反外挂注定是一场惨烈的拉锯战，没有一劳永逸的方法。
是的，而且处理外挂除了封禁和封堵以外，我们也要核查外挂所造成的影响，并进行及时的补救。例如，外挂在游戏内产生了海量可以流通的物品，对游戏的经济安全产生了恶劣的影响，我们就要进行删除。又例如，有玩家利用外挂获取了违规的收益，我们也要进行追缴等等。
以上呢都是我们线上处理的手段。针对一些情节非常严重的外挂团队，我们也会配合警方进行线下抓捕，运用法律手段打击这种违法行为。
后续我们将尽快上架一个专属的安全网站，提供安全公示、举报查询、处理查询、信誉分查询等功能。我们当然希望大家都不需要用到这个网站，但万一有需要，我们也想提供最好的体验。当然，游戏的安全工作除了反外挂之外，还有许多方面，例如管控经济黑产、文本辱骂等等，我们都有一一对应的解决方案。
毫无疑问，我们对于外挂的处理态度是绝对零容忍的，也请大家相信我们一定为大家创造一个安全、公平的游戏环境。
期待大家来玩我们的游戏，谢谢，拜拜，
拜拜。
This is Operator Mike from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to our series of short videos introducing the people and places you'll encounter in the dangerous world of Asara. Welcome to Zero Dam, operators. First stop, the Visitor Center. Beneath the camp's surface, danger lurks. Proceed along the highway to check out the major substation area. Cross the bridge and the cement plant stands tall, but beware of the danger overhead. Move through the underground passage and you'll see the AG barracks. Move carefully. Under the dam lies the heart of the administrative area. Amid the maze of buildings, conflict looms. Venture deeper into the dam. The rewards of the wall breaker will not disappoint. Welcome to the world of Asara. Good luck out there, operators. Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to Layali Grove, operators. Step out of the small train station and you'll see the Asara Guard occupying Gorab Desolation. Proceed along the highway and you'll be greeted by the magnificent Aminya village. The tower watches over every visitor. Over at the riverside, you can pass through Blue Wharf. Watch out, the waters here are deep and treacherous. The sparkling Empress Hotel glitters with opulence, luxury at its finest. But this is a place of many dangers. The checkpoint is fraught with peril. Stay alert and move quickly. Desert Trails Farm offers not just sunshine, but also gunfire. Pass through the flower fields and cargo havoc comes into view, but beware of the danger lurking at your feet. After crossing the stone bridge, the Garby building and the manor house beckon. They're worth a good look. Follow the path to the substation. In the open terrain, one must be ready for battle. Climb the mountain and you'll reach the Havoc WSR lab. Face tougher enemies to be rewarded with better loot. Fireworks light the distant horizon, illuminating the storage center. Operation Iron Dome is touch and go. The tracks tremble, signaling boarding time at Transnova Station. The Havoc train awaits. Layali Grove welcomes you. Good luck. Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to the strategic heart of the coastal desert, operators. This is Cracked. Traverse the rolling sand dunes, and the ruined desert city comes into view. Cross the highway. The temporary command HQ is just ahead, a strategic hub connecting all routes. Past the stone gate, where the once proud buildings now lay in ruins. A sorry sight. Watch for incoming fire from the rooftops. The battle starts in a flash. Fire erupts, smoke fills the air. Military supply stash. Easy to defend, hard to attack. Opening more fronts is the only valid strategy. Deep in the town lies the office area courtyard, the final line of defense. A fierce contest between metal and flesh plays out across this isolated land. No guts, no glory, operators.
We need to utilize terrain for stealth. Execute swiftly and silently.
We're gonna get to it real quick, you feel me? Yeah, I'm going harder than a genius, going stupid. Stop trying to break me, doofus. I'm stronger than 100 bazookas in the hand of some shooters or some bazookas on they block, moving units, yeah. Going hard for the movement. Fools gonna try to bruise it, but you just gotta do it. Put it on your brain and get through it. It's nobody stopping you like you is. It's nobody blocking you like you can. This will try to bring you down if you let them close. Gotta learn to fly, just let them go. You gotta let them tread in water while you chillin' boat. And if you start to slowly sink, then it was meant to go. Go. Debating on people movements because they can't do it. Hard as a mind state when no room on my plate. Thinking of time's sake, been trying to make time wait. Damn. Gotta run for your life. There they are coming now. Hold it down, hold it down. You don't wanna make a sound. Oh, na, na, oh, na, na. Hold your breath. Watch you step. And I hunt you down and you don't go down. Keep up your pace, don't slow down. It go bump in the night. It go bump in the night. It go bump in the night. Better run for your life.
Well, good afternoon, folks, or maybe good evening if you're across the pond, and welcome into Delta Force Hawkup's Hazard Operations. This is day 2 of our couple-day broadcast here. I'm going to be your host again. My name is Goj, and I could not be more excited to be here. This has been an unreal alpha test thus far. I'm seeing a crazy amount of players, a crazy amount of viewers all over Twitch and all of the streaming platforms. So we're so excited you're joining us here in the main stage booth, because today's competition is going to look a lot different than yesterday, but I need to remind everybody at home that you've got to go wishlist Delta Force Hawkups on Steam now. One, it helps you stay up to date on all game-related notifications, such as dev updates and release updates. And also, it's a great way to support the game and the team behind the scenes. You can do this a number of ways. The easiest, though, type in !wishlist in the chat and you'll get the link. Also, there's a giant panel down below me right now on Twitch. You can click that as well, or just head over to Steam and type in Delta Force Hawkups and click the wishlist button. Super simple. But I also need to remind you that you need to join Delta Force Hawkups on all of their major socials. Drop a follow, subscribe on all of those socials, because we're live on Twitch, where you can drop a follow here, but also they've got updates and events and all these different things happening on Twitter or on YouTube, TikTok. There's a ton of new information out there. And then also a huge shout out to that Discord. We've got over 120,000 members that have joined the official Delta Force Hawkups official Discord. This is a great way to get your questions answered and obviously meet this brand new thriving community. All right, so a lot to talk about today, and a huge shout out to Delta Force Hawkups for making it all possible. But don't worry, I'm not going to be yapping your ear off all by myself. I've got the wonderful and illustrious Toffees joining me in the booth. Toffees, my man, so excited to have you for this, especially with the game mode that we're going to be playing today.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. I love anything that involves extraction, especially when it's new. So I look forward to hanging out. We're kind of learning it together. We just dropped yesterday. I think a lot of these players put time into Havoc, but this is, I think, going to be a little bit of a different ball game for them today, Goj, and I'm pretty excited about watching.
Yeah, look, Hazard Operations, also known as Tactical Turmoil. Toffees, I'm going to be honest, you might be one of the higher level players in the game. You've been grinding, man. So I'm really excited to talk to you more about it. But let's talk about what's happening today. The format for this competition is going to look vastly different from yesterday. First, you do see a familiar face, LVNDMARK, back into the mix, but joined by Shroud and Summit1g. Talk about some heavy hitters. Now, each of these creators are making their own team of 3 and dropping into Hazard Operations. operations. But this is where it gets super interesting, all right? $20,000 is on the line, and it's a shared creator prize pool. It's all together. They're all trying to earn the same amount of cash. It'll be split up evenly between them. However, if at any point they get fully eliminated and do not extract from the game, they will lose from the shared prize pool $1,000. Now, we do have some prizing for the creators outside of cash with some in-game rewards we'll talk about in a little bit, and that creator that has the least amount of deaths will win that. But what I love about this is that the community, if you're watching this main broadcast right now, you need to try to drop in and find these creators and take them out. If you're able to do that, grab their dog tag and then extract, and you post proof by adding DeltaForce_game on Twitter or X, you actually get to earn the money that we're taking out of the prize pool. $1,000 could go to you. So there's a lot on the line here, not only for our creators, but also for you at home. And to join this, all you have to do is just load into a public lobby, and hopefully you load into the same one as these creators. But let's talk a little bit more about the pricing and Toffees. I want to chat with you about this because this is a really fun kind of brand new mechanic. Of course, we do have specific pricing for the creators as well, with that alpha exclusive vector and 1 million havoc coins, which is nice if you're able to be the creator with the least amount of deaths. But talk to me about what your opinion is on this really unique prize pool, $20,000 that is just getting subtracted if they end up going out.
So it's fascinating. On one hand, the winning team, sure, they get a cool skin and they get havoc coins, which, you don't realize how much you need those coins until you don't havoc them. The other side is that $20,000, and the $20,000, the fact that every single time that they go down, they lose money for the end of the day is hilarious to me in its own way. But because not only is extraction a difficult format, but we added a VIP or a protect the president mode on top of it. Right? That's wild. The teammates have so much pressure on them to keep their captains alive.
Yeah, let's be very clear, by the way, we've got some great teams, but also if you want to get involved in this event and just get involved in the game, yes, drops are active. I see you asking about it. It's very, very simple. All you have to do is go connect your Steam account to Twitch in your account settings, and then watch for 60 minutes. Delta Force Hawk-Ups. You can watch here. You can watch our creators. You can do a little mix and matching, and you'll see that chat pop up to show you your progress, and that's where you'll earn that key. Once you get it, though, I will say you should redeem it as soon as you can. There are a limited amount today. If we don't get there, though, there will be more. If you don't earn one today, there will be more drops on Saturday of this week. But let's go show our teams, because yes, they're not playing by themselves, and their teammates not going to be punished if they die. They are protecting the president, and I gotta say, these teams are looking stacked here, Toffees.
Stupid stacked. Okay, so Summit doesn't have as much extraction experience. Yes, you love Summit. He plays extractions, not at the level that LVNDMARK does. That said, he went out and got Hutch and Vivin to join his team. That's called stacking the deck. So those two guys are going to know how to cover Summit left to right. I'm excited about watching them. And then LVNDMARK went out and got Sheaf GG. If you guys watch some of these other extraction shooter games, Sheaf is a legend. He is a fundamental style extraction gamer. So watching him work with LVNDMARK should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Shroud's team, I mean, Sacriel, Wicked, Shroud, like, they are just players who know how to win games when they pick them up for the first time. So I expect them to still wow us, maybe with more aggression than the other two teams do.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something to keep our eyes on. And LVNDMARK also did play with Sheaf and Logical yesterday as well, so they've gotten a lot of reps in. I will say LVNDMARK probably my favorite. I think if anybody could kill LVNDMARK, I'm not going to give you anything besides maybe a shout out. Maybe I'll retweet your post when you show me his dog tag, because that is an impressive feat. But to the game we go. Now, to be very clear on this, by the way, Toffees, for everybody at home, we're going to be playing for a limited time. They're going to be playing for 90 minutes. Basically, as many maps as you can get in within 90 minutes. Once you do that, that's kind of how you're racking up your score and everything. But truthfully, all that matters is that, yes, racking up score, but it's about not dying. So stay alive, protect the president, all the different ways we coin that. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
It should be a lot of fun, and I'm loving sort of what Delta Force is bringing to the game in this mode that we haven't seen other places. We're used to seeing some hardcore games where you really have to work with your attachments and your bullets and everything else that makes a gun work. But they've given us HUDs, they've given us directions, they've given us a little more information. So this becomes like a really fun, fast-paced extraction. But as you can watch with that peak right there, it's not quite as fast as some we've seen. I think there's still that sense of patience that these teams are going to have to really work on in these areas, because it's not an overwhelming flood. It's usually a couple of NPCs, and then usually 2 or 3 teams that show up in hopes of a third party.
Yeah, you know, what's super unique also about Hazard Operations here, and specifically with this game mode, right? Like, you're able to obviously pick up some AI kills along the way, and then there's also real players in the lobby, which is what we're encouraging the people at home to try to be that real person, right? And Landmark making this look nice and easy. But also unique is the operator abilities, right? They actually give you some really unique abilities to succeed in Hazard Operations game mode in a totally even different way than in Havoc. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about that as well. You told me who your main was. You're a Luna main. I respect it. The recon position is probably one of the best. Information definitely key in this game mode.
Absolutely, and we're seeing right here is sort of a very popular build right now. 1 Luna, 2 Stinger. This idea that you've got, I'm sorry, not Stinger. It's our healing fellow. His name is...
No, it is Stinger. Yeah, he's a support position, but his name is Stinger.
That's right. So he has the ability to sort of heal, smoke, and do a lot of tactical fights in these high-value stronghold areas. You want to have 1 Luna, though, and they're doing that because those arrows, if you lob that sort of, visual arrow over the map, you can see everything. You may only get a short ping, but you really get an idea of what your next push is going to look like. So these abilities really do change the way that this game is played, and not in the same way they do in sort of the Havoc war mode, right? Like this idea that, like, in a small, close environment, very different skills matter a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that breakdown because Havoc Warfare, yes, chaos, yes, just nonstop action, and it is frankly like a pretty different style of game. Like, we're playing a basically totally different game inside the same game. Like, I love how different our modes are. So we're seeing all 3 creators here beginning to load in, drop in, and figure out where they're going to go from here, and everybody continuing to learn the mechanics. But heading over to Summit.
Summit gonna come in right now. I like the entry. Now remember, you drop in. This is that first moment. Everyone's gonna pop that map open, maybe take a look at where they want to head. But because this is not them playing the game for levels, Doge, we might not see them going for the objectives or the items that are required if you and I are playing normally. They're gonna be looking for safe extraction routes, ways to sort of pick up some value, but make sure they get out safe.
Yeah, I think that's a great shout. I think they definitely want to try to get some good value here. And wow, already fractures. My goodness, Summit in trouble early. Also, a very fun mechanic that is oftentimes in these extraction type game modes, and obviously here in Delta Force as well. Talk to me a little bit about healing system and fractures. Like, this is totally different from Havoc Warfare in the sense that if you don't have the right surgical kits and things like that, you're gonna be walking around with like a broken leg.
Absolutely. You got to make sure that you've got at least the 3 main pieces. You got to be able to heal those injuries. You got to be able to health back up, and you got to be able to stop pain to fight through injuries before you have a chance to repair them. Anything with a fracture or a chest injury, you got to get out it looks like a giant splint is the basic way to describe it, or a suture kit. That gets you moving again, but it doesn't heal your health. So you have to have time to do both sutures and heals, and then a painkiller, because right now he's got a broken arm. He cannot fight. He cannot see. If you take that painkiller, it stops the blurriness, lets you go out and clear the area, and then when the fight is over, you have the time to make the repairs you need to.
Yeah, I love that breakdown. And again, there's so much nuance in these game modes, and Delta Force Knock Ops certainly brings it all, but they are in a decently high value area here. I will say there's oftentimes a team that will actually spawn in here, and I think that's something for us to talk about too. Like, whenever we play games like this, and specifically in this one, I know you've been playing a lot of Zero Dam. You start to learn the player spawns, and that will dictate like how you move around the map.
Yeah, that's a big part of extractions, are starting quickly and moving out of your spawn location. Like, that's the number one. If you guys are like, what do I do when I log in, Toffees? Get out of your extraction spot, or your
yeah, that's
insertion
right.
spot. Get somewhere else and then start to make sense of where you are. Now, they are in not only a high-value area, it has high-value NPCs as well. So not only will this be a long fight for them, they will have other teams that start to show up.
One right above.
And that's what we're seeing right now. So Vibin is down. They can still get him back in the game, but the only person that matters is Summit right now. You can see him making sure he's playing a little bit safer because he wants all of that $20,000 to get split up between him and the lads.
Yeah, and also, if you're Landmark, you're Shroud, you also don't want Summit to go down because it affects you as well. So can't necessarily affect that, but definitely not preying on your opponent's downfalls right now. You are, for lack of a better term, almost teammates in different lobbies, and looks like he's fully regained.
the funny part's not going to be the, they're thinking about what other people are doing badly. It's that every time you fail, everyone on that other streamer's chat is going to call you out.
Yeah.
So they're going to start spamming. He just lost you money.
That's right.
It's super embarrassing. So that's what you want to avoid. But again, these players, Mr. Poopy 4554 came in here and found him. And these guys have been playing since last night, Goj. They are kitted. They are fitted, and they are looking for $1,000.
Yeah, and you saw a couple notifications pop up on Summit's POV, right? Like helmet cracks, plate armor's cracked. Like that's something else to consider too. Is like when to extract is whether or not like you have any armor on at all, or you're just gonna get obliterated by anybody. So it does look like Summit may actually go down and is requesting help from his teammates and not getting it, and at least not yet. And this is where that support character, Stinger, can come into play. Using those smokes is so much value when you're trying to grab a rescue.
Absolutely. Now, he is going to go down, so that's going to put them eliminated.
Oh, no.
Which means his last player is going to either have to do the grenade extract or try to get himself out as fast as he can. Because once you lose that captain, you're now playing 1v3s. There's really no point in sticking around.
We're all currently kind of...
You go to your settings, audio tab. There's a setting called HRTF.
Playing together.
Well, there he goes. Yeah, Shroud was breaking it down for us. I was going to let him do it, and then he was like, wait, I got some setting stuff I got to fix. But back to the same area here in the cement plant, and I think this is a place, like you said, a lot of folks like to play around, and also there's quite a bit of AI to farm as well. So a ton of loot here, but that also means those fights can take longer, which means more people will swarm on you, yada, yada. So we've already seen one death, so we're at $19,000 in total. Toppings, I'm excited to see Shroud.
Wait, did he just change hold? Did he just change hold to zoom? I feel like they added settings last night in the patch. I love that. All right, so the guard gets down. This is the reason they're all here. High volume area, but most importantly, if you guys are looking to hunt that $1,000, everyone for the most part will be queuing into Dam today because it is the fastest queue in the game at the moment because you have to be a higher level to get into the next map. So I would advise you guys to play Dam for the next 90 minutes. That said, it is a very choke pointed. Oh, did you see? Did you guys get to watch those mini games last night, Coach, that he just looked at?
Yeah. I actually had a chance to take a look at him. We actually, last night on broadcast, we didn't see a lot of this because Havoc Warfare, totally different, right? 32 versus 32. It's chaos. It's war. You're trying to grab objectives. There's not these kind of like mini missions and objectives so you can get loot. It's a totally different system. So I had a chance to see it, but not on main stage here.
So what you guys saw, and if we see it again, we'll try to get a shot at it for you, is like when you open some of these chests, they don't just open. You got to solve a puzzle. It's like I'm playing Zelda out here or something, right? This idea that like you got to figure out, and that one they just looked at, it uses a Morse code representation of the letters that you have to then type in based on their Morse symbol using the key next to it. Is it hard? No. Does it take an extra minute or two? Yes. And is that the worst possible thing in the world when you're playing in extraction mode? Absolutely.
Time is a limited resource, and anytime you have to spend time, obviously, means that somebody can come walking up the stairs while you're trying to crack a Morse code, puzzle. So definitely watch out for that. But so far, so good. They're seemingly all quiet here in the cement plant. I will say, too, like when you're looking for loot, cement bags, they take up a lot of space and a lot of weight, but they're nice and valuable. I mean, there's some really good loot here.
Oh, here it is. This is what we're talking about. You can see he's got to put those numbers in, but he has to use the code decryption on the left side. And while he's doing it, the teammates aren't like, just have to watch your back. So it can be some of those have 4, 5, 6 numbers. So you got to kind of be aware of how chaotic it can be. That was the rocket launcher guy. Remember that rocket launcher that went after Summit on the first entry in the last round? That was the dude who did it. He always spawns there. Personal reference for you guys. Look for that when you enter the cement plant.
Yeah, and again, there's so much we could talk about, but I think it's worth mentioning, like, you already talked to how LVNDMARK is the specialist of extraction shooters. And this guy is, I gotta say, he's been grinding Delta Force since it's dropped here in Alpha Test. And so you can already tell, like, the amount of loot that he's bringing in, like, what he's kitted with, looks totally different from somebody maybe like Summit or Shroud who's playing for the very first time. So you can even tell, like, even with the helmet he's wearing and the different field of vision, he's ready to rock and roll. He wants to find real opponents.
Yeah, you saw the no recoil on that spray. Like, he's good at control, but he's also kitted. And, that was a player. So he does did a knock and a flush on Gallic, and LVNDMARK's going to push forward. It's probably the last team, maybe the second to last team in the lobby. So Sheaf and him are definitely going to want to take this fight. It was not an instant kill, which means he has teammates standing up somewhere nearby, and they do need to be aware of that.
It's a great shout, and
That's up in his backpack.
oftentimes, especially if you're maybe somebody that doesn't play a ton of extraction shooters, you might be a loot goblin like me, and you're like, oh, I got a kill, I'm gonna go loot him. No, you're gonna get shot in the head. Just get a full team boy first.
But the thing I like about what Delta Force has done, for instance, is because they have that sort of, you know, knocked but not dead system, unless the third player is killed, you know when the fight is over.
Yeah.
Unlike other extraction games where you always are like, well, there's probably one more, and you have to sit in a bush for 20 minutes waiting for the group to stop so you can take their gear. This one, it's a little bit faster paced, and I very much enjoy that in terms of, I'm a dad, I've got kids, I've got a job, I want to be able to play, you know, the most out of my hour and a half.
That's right.
This lets me be a little ratty, but also not have to rat forever, and I really dig that.
Yeah, I dig that as well. And you can see as we took a look at inventory there, Landmark did have a couple level 4 bullet pin. I think it was helmet, chest. He's ready to rock. He's got more space in his backpack. Yep. Nice chest rig. I mean, this dude is he's ready to rock and roll. For sure.
He's got that massive. I mean, the helmet alone will keep him safe. So here's what's happening. A couple things to remember. They're passing guns over to him. They want to make sure that their hard carries are the best kitted for the highest chance of survival. So any big armor pickups will probably get tossed towards the captains. And now, since we're going to have a second, I want to explain something else about extraction you guys didn't get to see last night when you watched. I know you were here watching Hazard Operations because you want keys the same way that I do. The difference in this one is ammunition is everything. When you play in extraction mode, guns exist only to accurately put ammo down range. Gear exists only to stop ammunition from penetrating your gear.
Yep.
So as the gear gets higher, you have to have higher, more expensive ammunition to take on that higher gear. So that's why a team right now with Landmark, where you saw him in a bunch of 4+, he is going to be so much more survivable than I think Shroud started this match. It looked like it was a level 2 or a 3. So do keep that in mind as this progresses. Bullets. If you're running blue bullets with the M4, you can get 3 to 4 shot kills. If you're using white bullets, it can take anywhere from 7 to 10. That's a big difference.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great shout, and especially if you don't play a lot of extraction shooters. This is a very nuanced kind of game mode, but trust me, as somebody that has played some, but not a crazy amount, not compared to Toffee's, like, I was able to pick it up really quickly, and I think that's the fun part about Delta Force's Hazard Operations. It's very accessible while also being very unique in amongst this kind of game mode or genre of games, but Summit is right back into the mix. Looks like he got brought back, and, well, a broken arm, head's got problems, he's got all types of injuries, but he is alive, which is good.
Looked like a player at the end of the football season. He's going to have to spend a couple of months in rehabilitation, but I think it was worth the fight. Now, the upside of this game, though, it's not as hard to heal as I've seen in the past. You have to, as long as your team's defending you, get a good chance to break loose. And again, this is an example of they got the third kill. They know that they are safe to loot, and that changes the way that you approach the game a lot.
Yeah, you can see, you know, it's fun too, by the way, if you have never played Hazard Operations yet, also in-game right now called Tactical Turmoil. So if you click that game mode, this is what we're playing. And that's how you can actually get involved too. So these players, these content creators, they're just loading into pubs. If you want to get in and try to find them and maybe earn $1,000 yourself, just start loading in. And obviously, once you grab that dog tag, we'll probably see it on main stage. But make sure you tag Delta Force _game on Twitter or X as well. But a quick extraction there from Shroud.
Yep.
Everybody feeling pretty good to start.
They're both going to spin out as fast as they can, because time that you're alive in the lobby is time that you're not dead in the game.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Also, I want to point out Summit. That massive debuff list is not just a debuff list. You notice his health and stamina is dropping very fast. You have to, like, if you are running, if you are sprinting, if you are fighting on those broken limbs, you take additional damage throughout the entire game. So you got to make sure you're carrying those kits to make sure you're healing the breaks, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, I like that call out a lot, and I think that at this point they're just like, okay, I don't even have any more heals.
I think they're maybe out, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just running straight for extraction right now. Fun note too, like the different extraction points have some costs associated to them. There is a free extraction point, but a little bit further away depending on where you are on the map. Like there's some really nuanced ways to kind of get out, and you can see right here, Shroud can't extract. Yeah, he doesn't have any cash on him, so he cannot extract there. They have to keep moving.
And again, this is probably a symptom of not spending as much time in some of these game formats, because if you open the map and hover over any extraction point, it tells you the conditions of extraction. And some of them will be once in a while it's available. Some will have you have to have cash on you. But the reality is, it's 10,000 to get out. Just put it in your safe case and carry it with you in every single map.
Yeah, and
now I will say that for those of you who may be watching and not familiar with the format, they do have a case in their inventory. It's only 2 slots, but those 2 slots are guaranteed to be carried out with you even if you die.
Yeah,
So if
great
you have
shout.
high value stuff, make sure you put it in there.
Yeah, great shout. Especially if you find high value stuff here that you're like, I want this out, right? Like, there's always some value there that you could extract with regardless of what happens. So a good call. And I think too, like, you know, we talk operators. We talked a lot about the operators yesterday, and I think there's a lot of value in both modes, and they do have a little bit of different instances. We talked a little bit about Luna and the recon arrow that she has. So much value in hazard operations. You can see D-Wolf is who Summit's using right now, and so you saw that motorized exoskeleton does give you some, you know, extra sprint speed and gives you some extra bonuses with stamina, but it also, he's got a tactical slide, so he's got a little bit more mobility than a lot of our other operators, which certainly can be useful, especially if you get into fights.
I think it's also really smart to put D-Wolf on your VIP. The fact that he has tactical slide and motorized exoskeleton means that he can very quickly, between that and smoke, get out of a tough situation, because there is this idea, if things go badly, it exists. You see a lot in battle royales. Like, a team starts to lose people, they jettison someone out the back, right? Like, your job is to survive. That's what this is going to be for these guys. If they start to go down, Summit's job is just to get the heck out of Dodge and try to save money, right? Because while Summit traditionally would be like, that's all right, I'm going to 3v1 these guys, how would Landmark feel about that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's a lot of different things you got to think about. Now, it looks like Summit may actually it might actually still have some meds, but at this point, we're just trying to save those for maybe later. And just wants to get out of here. So a free extraction point. You're going to see at least 2 get out.
Survived the first one. Almost didn't. Good shit. Nice res.
And I think, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure someone did not reload back in. They did get revived and were able to get extracted. So I'm not sure anybody grabbed his dog tags. So something to keep in mind as we go forward.
So that, and to be clear, that's what you got to do. You got to kill him, you got to snatch the dog tag, and you got to post it. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, you got to extract with it and then post it. So once you extract with it, you pull the dog tag out. You can actually right-click on it and go to details, and it'll tell you whose it was and who actually got the kill, which would be theoretically you. So that's what you need to post that screenshot on DeltaForce_game on Twitter.
And don't try to take the picture in game. We'll know it. You got to take it in the lobby because you got to get out.
That's right. You got to extract. Yeah, definitely true.
That is the whole point of the game mode.
Yeah, and Taffies, I think you and I both were feeling this last night. You know, I did.
D-Man.
Oh yeah, that's one full dead. Yeah, that's a full player. These are those moments that you're like, okay, are they AI or not? And then all of a sudden they come sprinting around the corner. You're like, oh yeah, that's a real person.
This SG-552, it is a nostalgic firearm because we don't see it very often in modern games, I feel like. However, it is insane right now in Delta Force. If you guys have one in your inventory, the time to kill seems wicked high, and just the damage per bullet and the accuracy is wild. I've started using it over M4s almost exclusively.
Yeah, great shout. You know, it is funny. I was going to talk about this a little bit earlier. If maybe you're brand new to the extraction place, you've never played hazard operations, you've never gotten into it, there is a tutorial at the very beginning, and it's pretty quick too. So get in there, play the tutorial, and you actually get some loot that you're able to take into your stash, and you could load into the next operation, you know, pretty easily. It was actually some pretty decent loot to start things off. So go get your hands on it, go try it out, and who knows, just with some of that tutorial loot, you might be able to take down Shroud.
He's droning in.
Absolutely.
Another team here, okay, guys? Another team.
And that is it's a lot of fun.
Ooh, okay. Little bunny hop around the corner. Shroud said, yeah, no, not a chance.
Not today. He did crawl away, so they want to try to go ahead and get that flush. Now, the res time is not long in this game, so you can't expect people to get pushed. You can bait out their knocked partners.
Yeah, and if you're running Stinger, the res time's even faster, too. It's that kind of increased or rather decreased res time with Stinger is a great value add when you're thinking about your party comp with your operators.
But coming back to you.
Nice. That recon arrow goes so far.
Someone's sprinting.
Come to you.
Maybe that's you, actually.
Trying to heal. I'm fucked up.
Is that yours or?
He hit my trap. My trap's hitting him in that
I
pipe.
want to listen to this.
Killed no one? Okay,
Nice.
the squad's dead. The west squad is dead. The one that you downed, Matt. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. Yep, he is down. So we have one right here. I don't know the layout.
My head is zeroed. Fuck me.
Do you have a repair kit?
Yep, I'm doing it.
So one of the things I love about watching this mode, Havoc Warfare versus like Operations, is how much quieter the comms tend to be.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
communication and every ounce of information is so important.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, these moments are super important, and a nice play here. Quick replay on Shroud picking up a couple eliminations here early, and here is the res, and says, yeah, not today. That's a full team wipe as well, so nice shout out to Shroud. Starting things hot.
Okay.
He's in.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Oh, above me, Mike, right next to me, on me. Dead.
There you go, on the stairs.
One shot. No, my armor's 0, dude.
Yeah, my armor's 0 as well. You cracked it there.
Yeah, Toffee,
And if
talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, this is what we were talking earlier. Like, if your armor gets zeroed out, like, now what?
Right. I was gonna say, if there's the timer exists on the game, but the real timer is the second someone in your group says zeroed anywhere, you need to leave the lobby. Especially in this game.
Yeah.
I will also say the other biggest thing that I've learned in playing for the last couple of hours here is ammunition. While quality is important, amount is insane. Like,
Yeah.
look right now, we're down to 49 plus 60 in his safe box. Like, you need to have at least 5 to 6 stacks of munitions going in if you're not planning on taking high octane stronghold fights. If you're going to fight in strongholds, you got to have more than that because it does go very fast. The fact that it is a quick style of reload instead of a mag repack like we are used to seeing on Extraction, I think has made the game faster and more fun, but does require significantly more rounds per fight.
Yeah, that's a great shout. The game actually, I went in with like, I think it was like 90 rounds or something. I was like, oh, I'll certainly find some more ammo. And the game was like, hey, are you sure you want to load in with less than 180 rounds? I was like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah. And then I go in and I run out of ammo 100%. So I think Delta Force tried to help me out a little bit. And I said, no, I'll be fine. I wasn't fine.
Because if you've ever done this mode anywhere else, like there are certain games, and you'll know, I'm not going to say who it is, but I bring in like 2 magazines and 1 refill, right? And that's, you get by with that. This game requires combat, but the combat flow is enjoyable enough that generally I'm not into fast-paced shooters. This game feels like it's the right mix between speed and understanding and information gathering.
Yeah, one thing I really enjoyed, and there's a lot, obviously, of titles out there. This one, it feels the perfect balance also on TTK. Like, it is fast. It still feels like, your extraction shooter type TTK, but there's still some survivability that you can play around with, especially if you have some decent armor, but also with those operator abilities. I think we had already talked about D-Wolf a good bit, and then just Stinger being able to immediately start health regen on your teammates and yourself in the middle of a fight is such a fun value add. So I'm really actually enjoying the operators being included in this to give you a little bit of different play styles.
Well, it also provides you with escapability. And I think that's something that's underrated in Extraction. Sometimes the best fight you can, we say this in boxing all the time, the best way to win a fight is not to start one in the first place, right? And so this idea that you can use some of these smokes and the speed instead of offensively like you would in operations, but instead to withdraw and reposition or even just leave is incredibly powerful in this mode.
Yeah, I like that shot a lot.
It's an AI.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's just AI. We're fine. We're okay. Yeah, that's right. Something else, I was playing with a couple buddies of mine that love playing extraction shooters, and I was just lacing these AI, and they were like, yo, just use like 1 bullet on their head so you can save some ammo. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Gotta conserve the ammo.
100%. Now, that, especially if you're using high-end stuff, because you will never replace your high-end ammunition from the NPCs, right? Like,
yeah, right.
You got what you bring with you. Unless you're playing, I think, some of the higher modes. I haven't qualified to be in Confidential yet, but once I do, I assume that we'll start to see high-tier ammo on the NPCs as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great shout. And it's also worth mentioning, Taffies, too. Like, we have Zero Dam, we have Layali Grove, which you can get at level 7. But then you also have that confidential mode, which I think is what you're talking about, which you get at level 12. And you actually have a pay to enter. Like, you have to pay credits in-game in order to get into those. So there's almost like a fee so that you can earn higher value loot. So it's even more punishing if you don't extract.
The drops are higher value, but everyone who goes in because they're paying is wearing their Sunday best.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
right.
Like, when you play Extraction, like everybody who plays knows the rules. When the homies are offline, oh, he's gonna get this guy backstabbed. Nice. When the homies are offline, you play solo to get gear stashed up for when they get online. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
squads together, that's when you burn it. So Confidential is really cool because what you're gonna see there primarily is gonna be well-kitted squads, like who are using Discord, who are friends, Whereas in non-confidential, you're probably going to see a lot of solos, pickup groups, and more in a reasonable gear level if you're a beginner. So I really like that they sort of let the two queues separate themselves by choice instead of forcing, you know, someone to go play this way. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm just relaxing and I don't want to play in extreme mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's a great shout too. Like, I think in Zero Dam, you're noticing like these are a lot of newer players. You know, Shroud's level like 2, 3 is gonna rank up as we're playing throughout the day to day. And so like this is a great mode. You could drop into Zero Dam, non-confidential. There's no entry fee. And you can just earn, you know, credits. You can earn some cash so that you can just buy good ammo for when you do want to play confidential. I think this is a great breakdown. And I'm really liking also the difference in styles of game mode that Havoc Warfare and Hazard Operation kind of move in tandem. There's one that's just utter chaos, nonstop action. And if you want to slow down, you can play Hazard Operations as well. It's really, really cool to have both inside the same game.
Extraction grinders call Hazard Operations warm up, okay? You go there, you spend an hour or two getting your aim down perfectly, and then you come here and you risk it all because remember, in this mode, whatever you take in is not guaranteed to come back. And so that can be, I mean, when you talk confidential, there will literally be teams that are going to be dropping 5, 6, 700,000 on kits per run.
Yeah.
And, you know, so there's risk, but there's also, that means you get to walk out with those kits if you win. So I'm pretty excited about the way that they've developed that sort of difference in choice of how you want to play. Also, I will say, if you guys are playing at home, Lamar just barely gets out of that one. We'll hold off for a second and see what happens.
Yeah, this might be, he was over here like looting in some boxes and getting slammed by something or somebody.
Sheaf seems unconcerned, which is usually my litmus test to can I go back to looting.
Yeah. It's a great shout.
If Sheaf's not charging off to hunt someone, you're in good shape. But the fact Sheaf hasn't stopped, so I think he's up to something. He's got a flank in mind. Nope, he's looting, so you're safe. Everything's good if Sheaf's looting.
Yeah, he actually just picked up a kill too. So I think that was the last player on that team.
When you go to the lobby right now, there are different places to buy gear. The one at the end is like, I think it says Test Lab. I can't remember the exact name, but it is a randomly selected group of items that you can buy at a discount trade price. You should check that every day and buy out anything that's under market because those are great to have later on.
Yeah, great shout. That's the T&E lab is what they've got it listed at.
Yeah,
there's so much in this, and especially if you haven't played an extraction shooter before, you know, there's a lot that you'll learn. But again, it frankly took me like 2.5 games to figure it all out, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So yeah, you've got your departments of the Assault Battalion, Medical Bay, Base Support Battalion, Tactical Warfare Unit. That's just where you're buying all the different things you need: AK firearms, meds, helmets, backpacks, ammo, like all in their different departments. And that T&E lab has those limited time items, mission items, card holders, things like that. So really cool stuff. And also your black site is another big one, right?
Yes.
That's kind of your like home base. That's what you can actually go into black site construction and you can use loot you find to level up each of your different kind of unique places you can visit inside your black site. Obviously your stash, which increases your space, and then like pharmacy, which you can actually produce your own meds rather than having to loot them or buy them.
Yep. And it's something, and just put in perspective, Black Site, just think of it as a place where you can hide out between matches. It's like your home base. And in it, you can craft stuff, you can get good ammo. And so what's going to happen is you start to level up, you'll unlock higher levels of Black Site. And then you'll be able to create those items that you need using these sort of like trash stuff that you find, right? And it's not trash. What you look at right now, you're like, why are these guys looting a deck of cards? And what will happen in the long run is Black Site will have you creating crazy stuff out of these items so you don't have to go buy them at the auction. And that's always nice to have. It also lets you sell. You can craft stuff that might let you sell it, which is another way to try to make money because this game mode is about money. If you go broke, you're going to be in here with a pistol and a prayer, and that is no fun. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, and something super unique too, like not only can you produce your own helmets and things like that in your black site if you level it up high enough, but also like the CSD, you can actually just increase your operator max stamina by leveling that up, or your movement speed while downed. Like there's so many customizable options, and like you can prioritize whatever you want to upgrade as you're going through, whether it's based on what you find or you're specifically trying to find things that you want to upgrade it. It's a very cool system.
And if you guys are playing at home, like he says, like you will be upgrading it, people will be improving. The best time to test this thing out is as soon as possible, right? You want to get out there, get those codes, get in, because right now everyone's kind of learning together. And that's my favorite time to sort of get your hands on access right now. So if you don't get a chance today, make sure you come back Saturday and get in the game because this is definitely the most fun. Everyone's learning as you go. No one has memorized the maps. Well, okay, I'll bet there's like 12 guys who have, but
yeah,
no one else has memorized the map just yet. And that does mean it's all fair play.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing a couple people ask in chat about a couple things. And yes, drops are active. We already told you about them. We're going to continue to tell you about them. All you have to do is make sure your Steam account is attached to your Twitch account. And then just watch Delta Force Hot Ops here, main stage right now on broadcast, watching these creators protect their 20,000. Just watch for 60 minutes. You'll get your key and make sure you use that as soon as possible. And there'll be more drops on Saturday if you don't get yours today. All right. So make sure your accounts are linked, though, to get your key. And, you know, I was also seeing some of the formatting questions. These creators, they're just protecting their 20K. That is all they have to worry about. However, if there is a tiebreaker, because we do have some in-game rewards for them if they are the creator with the least amount of deaths, it does come down to actually how much loot you're able to pull out of your 90 minutes of gameplay. So kind of a fun, unique system there. 1 million credits on the line, and then also of those Havoc coins. And then also we've got a kind of alpha test unique vector, which is pretty cool.
Also, if you guys at home, if you're watching on your favorite streamer's channel, the best thing that you can do, the rule, like you said, the rules are simple. They just have to survive, and if they all survive and never die, the amount of loot they get is going to matter, right? So they're going to run through the map, try to find the best loot they can, and get out without dying. So loot till your gear is broke, then get off the map. If you want to help them, then you should be watching the other streamers, and whenever they join, see if maybe you too can play with them, if you get what I mean, and stop them being in the tie, if that makes sense. Because if the other creators die once, that means whoever stayed alive, who never died, gets to have the big win.
That's right. There's definitely some pros and cons to dying across the board. But folks, and I think the key here is that you should be loading into public lobbies here in Hazard Operations, which in-game Tactical Turmoil is the game mode you're selecting for this. Because if you get in their game and you're able to grab their dog tag, take them out, grab their dog tag, and extract and post it on X, on Twitter, you could literally win $1,000. That's not an exaggeration. That's exactly what it is. You take $1,000 out of the creator prize pool, and we give it to you if you're able to prove it, right? So who knows? I'm excited to see maybe deeper into this competition, more of our friends here in the main broadcast starting to filter into these public lobbies and getting a little sweaty.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's no real way for you to know if you made a lobby either with any of these players other than just going out there and taking the fights, because you aren't seeing kill feeds for anybody but your team. So the information is not as easy to get as one might think. You got to go out there, you got to go for the high volume areas, and you got to hope maybe you run into someone famous.
Well, going to take some time here, Toffees, to extract, and I think each of these extraction zones have different timers on them as well, but here's the final 10 seconds. Should have no problem. Couple triple blasters down lane.
Where'd he get that?
That's his wrist gadget, man. On D-Wolf, I'm telling you, D-Wolf's kind of different, especially in the Havoc Warfare mode. Nicewig yesterday was having a blast running D-Wolf, but so far, a fairly clean run. Now, we saw a couple people get low. We saw Summit get real low and then actually fall, couldn't get rescued, went full down, but then got fully revived. All right, so that is a mechanic in the game that even if you get fulled after you go down to try to wait for your rescue, you can get full revived. He was able to get back up. So let's take a quick look back at some of those hot moments here at the beginning of our Hazard Operations event.
Someone was putting in some serious work. We saw Nox. They went into this, I think it was the cement plant initially, and even their second game, they got into a lot of hot spaces, but it seemed like someone was really getting the handle of the spray significantly more. I think maybe waking up, he seems like he was a little bit uncomfortable in that first match, getting way better here. Yeah, keep seeing these great shots. Also, that hammer sight has been super powerful.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing is that you can calibrate your weapons to however you want them, right? Not only the modifications you put on in the gunsmith, but also calibrating each of the individual attachments. If you're not somebody that has great recoil control, don't worry, you can fix that. And Shroud was, well, unfortunately, taking everybody out in the lobby. Nobody walking away with any cash this time around. Not these players, at least, but overall, some good gameplay to start. And a quick look, by the way. Yes, we thought $1,000 were taken out, but he got full revived, which means we're back into it. A full prize pool for these creators, $20,000 going to these creators thus far. The question is, can anybody at home take away $1,000 from them by grabbing their tags and getting out of the lobby? So we're gonna hop right back into the game. And again, we're playing for 90 minutes, and we're about, I think, 45 minutes or so into it, about halfway through. And so now's your time. If maybe you just got your key, get it logged in, get into the game, start loading into public lobbies, and see if you can maybe try to hunt down one of these creators.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? Right? That's the big one. It's a chance at $1,000, and also the bragging rights. In the same way, like they win a vector and some in-game currency, but they also get the chance to say, "Hey, I won," which is Listen, I've been around a lot of pros and streamers for a long time, and when they get together for drinks or hanging out years later, I will still hear them give each other crap out. Remember that time I beat you at the debut of such and such?
Yeah, that's so true. Actually, though, ego is everything when it comes to competitions like this. And I do want to be very clear, by the way, on mechanics on this. It's worth mentioning. There's rescue and revive. Those are two different things, especially in hazard operations. So if you go down and you're crawling around, we talked about that movement speed you have, that's the rescue mechanic. That's somebody that could come in, especially if you're playing Stinger, can pick you up really quickly. It doesn't take all that long. If you get fulled there, if you're like full out, you're not able to crawl around, that's when you need to be fully revived. Now, you have another time window on being revived as well that is quite longer, but if your team has to run away, you can't get back or whatever, when that time is elapsed, that means you are then full dead. So that's the opportunity where we're not only losing $1,000 out of our pricing, but also, you know, you could grab the dog tag and get out of Dodge. Now, it is worth mentioning too that like you wipe the full team. Well, obviously nobody's getting revived, so you can decrease that timer quite aggressively. Just kill all of them.
That's the easiest way to do it. Now, I prefer letting them bleed while you watch.
Brutal, Toffee's brutal.
Well, you know, it's sometimes it's fun to just like throw a backpack full of stuff down in the middle of a walkway, and when they stop to loot it, you know, you kill them while they search. So little things like that make extraction that much more fun. The rats and all of us thrive.
Same strategy and just ran through.
If you guys ever want to try that, it really makes people angry. You just throw your bag on the ground, and people will stop to look at it.
Little bait and switch. I respect that.
100%. You're just sitting in a window and you're like, again.
No recon.
I love the pro strats with Toffees.
You say pro. We'll call them rat strats. But winning is winning. Nice. Climb up on that. That was a Rocketeer, too. Whew, good spot.
Yeah, and these are, again, some of the more high-value spots on the map. You can tell, like, a lot of players that play a lot of extraction shooters, Landmark's team will do this. They'll open the map immediately when they drop in, see where they want to go, map it out, say, hey, we want this loot, we want to go this way. You know, maybe even map out their main extraction points depending on where there are. You know, a lot of, like, tactical planning will go into these motions so you can get this loot quickly. And then, like you said, get out of your drop-in spot as fast as possible.
There it is. All right, they're up against players. Ansi goes down. That's the second flush they've managed. So the whole squad does drop. It was because Ansi got knocked, and then Shang was finished by Sheaf, and that will give them the 3. They now have time to recover, rest, and loot. But I think that the point you made is very, very valid. What you're seeing Landmark and the experienced extraction guys do is when you play this game, if you're playing at home and it's your first contact, don't think of this like an arena. Don't think of this as a battle. Think of this as objective-driven in its entirety. Before you queue, you should know where you want to go and what you want to accomplish and loot on the way there and on the way to the extraction. And that's all you need to do, because winning is getting out. That's the key.
Winning is getting out. Name of the game when it comes to extraction shooters, but here we go. Talking a little bit more about some of the high-value loot in the area. There's also some bosses that you can take down as well, and I gotta say, they are quite tanky, but another way to get some good loot.
And again, this is one of those, like, if you're going after the boss runs, pack better ammo. Because if you're sitting on blues, it's not going to be nearly as tanky. It just means when you get those bosses, they have a higher level of gear generally. So their loot's good, but they also are wearing vests that make it very hard to kill. Ooh.
Right in front of me.
He's going to finish that heal. That's hilarious.
I don't like it. I can't move on loot. It scares me.
There you go.
I don't know.
It says
he was confident. That's a man who's confident with the healing system.
Yeah. And again, I think even before yesterday, like he was warming up in Havoc Warfare, like you mentioned, it's kind of like a warm-up mechanic. Go get your shots in, get your gunny right. But he was warming up yesterday for Havoc Warfare of it, playing hazard operations, playing tactical turmoil. So he's been putting in a lot of time in this game already.
Absolutely. I think you know, Summit. He's gonna have fun with the game. He's gonna really enjoy it. Landmark, I think we might see him grinding this for a while.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. I'm moving.
I think I mean, it fits. It seems like it's right up his genre. The speed is really good.
I think there might be one flanking me.
The movement is incredibly
Just
smooth
hold this
for
corridor.
extraction.
This room plus where Viven's sitting, we just hold this area. It's good.
I really, the pace of this game, I think, is the thing that's blown me away the most, Goj, is that it's found the middle ground between too casual and fast and too hardcore and impossible.
Yeah, I like fully agree. I think that's one of the things that, you know, some of my criticism sometimes as a guy that plays a lot of like arcadey style shooters, like Havoc Warfare, right up my alley. One of my only complaints ever is just from my personal preference is pace of play when it comes to extraction shooters. But I'm having so much fun with this game mode, and I think it's because it strikes a really good balance of being fast but also slow enough to where you can be tactical. And also, I'm just a loot goblin at heart, and so running around looting everything is like it's my happy place.
You know, and I think every gamer's a loot goblin at heart. And so the beauty of what this game is going to do is, I think if you guys, I'm not going to say the name of some of these other competitors, but if you have played them in their history and you love them, you probably also have a list of times that you've bought the game for people because you're so desperate to have your friends love the game. And all of them have quit in 2 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen with this one because the speed of play, the accessibility of items, I think it's going to be fun for people who aren't necessarily extraction acolytes. They're going to still enjoy putting in 2 or 3 reps a night.
Well, and there's 2 key notes about Delta Force Hawk Ops that's also different. It's free to play. Online services, all free to play. Get the game, get to playing. You don't have to spend a dime on it. And also, the developers have committed to no pay to win for the lifetime of the game. That is a something they take super seriously and something we'll keep reiterating on broadcast. So you don't need to pay anything to play, and you don't need to pay anything to win. Talk about a win-win. I mean, literally, that's exactly what it is.
That's the best. That's the best use of, you know, back in my day, you had to pay $59 for the game and then buy a new set every 3 months. The fact that like we can now play, and if you want to support them by buying cosmetics, you get to, is like, oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're kind of in that position and it's felt very fair so far. The NPCs, I assume, will continue to get smarter the longer the game is out. Generally, that's what AI does. That said, they still are at a very good balance of, you can see, in other games, they flood you, and it's meant to make you struggle throughout the game. This one is, they test you, but really they're there to let every other operator group know that something is going down in a high-value position, if that makes sense. And I think I really enjoy that, of like, sure, you got to stop and shoot. Sure, they slow down your speed and your progression a little bit, but the real risk is that while you're fighting them, someone else smells blood in the water. And I think that is a very cool mechanic.
Yeah, great shout. And again, I'm seeing a couple folks in chat asking some questions. Yes, we will have more drops on Saturday. You're going to see that all over Twitch, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you didn't end up getting an alpha test key this time around. And then also, we've been talking about this all day about how you can support the game and support the developers. The best way to do that is go wish list now on Steam. This is also a great way just to get notifications straight to your inbox on dev updates, release updates, and everything in between. So go wish list Delta Force Hawk Ops now. There's a panel down below. You can type in !wish list in the chat, or just head over to Steam and type in Delta Force Hawk Ops and click the wish list button. It is super, super simple and definitely the best use of your time.
He's shooting at somebody outside.
Nice. And I think it is because you'll get your updates, you'll have access. You know, I wish listed it a while ago. I got my thing because I was able to sign up for the alpha because I saw the notification that came off the wish list, right?
Yep.
So it's one of those, you're only going to be to your advantage if you do that. Follow it over on Twitter, follow it there, or X, whatever you want to call it at this point. Because getting in is honestly the most fun. Especially in these early stages, you get to have a say in how the game is being made, help discover what's OP. Like that to me is my favorite part of games nowadays.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, especially at the very beginning, like you're talking about, of like everybody's pretty much on an even playing field, and yeah, I'm loving what we're seeing. But Summit they are holding down this East Wing. I mean, this is like about as tactical as it gets. This guy is locked in right now.
In this room.
And it sounds like they've got a little bit of some comms that maybe there's a full team below them. It sounds like maybe Hutch is playing a kind of IGL for this team.
No, they're lit as fuck though.
Well, and that's why you want to make sure that you've got your operators organized the right way.
Like
if they had a Luna. Nice. Summit's dad.
Hey, wait a minute. The community's starting to lock in.
One left.
Summit's dad made it into the lobby. Trying to find
someone got a key and made an account just to go troll this man, and I live for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
nice. He tried to get the jiggle.
I fucked him up. He didn't hit me once. I'm pushing towards him.
He messed him up badly.
Yeah, Summit is swinging. This is what we're talking about with D-Wolf. Talk about pushing. I mean, good grief, you fly around.
Yes, you can't do that in extraction. You can't do it in extraction, Summit.
VIP, and I apologize.
There you go. VIP extraction. You cannot lead push, especially if you can hold the head peak.
Oh no, Summit! It's starting to get spicy. There was a chance he was gonna lose $1,000 for the creators, but a quick revive may be coming through here shortly. If his team has to stay alive here.
Good shit.
This is gonna be close.
No, play.
No, he's got him. He's got him.
Okay, fuck it.
I'll get him up.
No. He knows Hutch is. I remember I said adding Hutch to your team was a big play right here. Hutch is solid. If they made their name Summit Dad, they want to take his dog tag and get the heck out with it.
I gotta heal first.
Yeah, I saw somebody in chat saying Summit got me, no way, bro. So Booker DeWitt maybe just got slammed by Hutch. Maybe it was this fight or maybe it was the fight before. But that's a missed $1,000 right there. That's tough.
Listen, if you guys get a fight with them and die, come here and tell us. This is not one of those situations where I'm like, I don't want to hear you brag. I want to hear you brag. So shout out to It's the Booker DeWitt. I see you got a message deleted, so I don't know that I want to give you a full shout out. But thank you for fighting them.
Oh, he was spamming caps because he almost won $1,000. The guy barely missed. He said he whiffed the shock dart and Hutch absolutely swung on me and waxed me.
Oh man, yeah. Well, that's Hutch for you.
Yeah,
Hutch doesn't get nearly enough love.
That's so true. That is hilarious. I love that. Keep shouting us out here in main broadcast if you get in and get waxed, or maybe you do the waxing. It was close there for Summit, though. Again, 2 down, by the way. So if the third gets fully eliminated, whoa.
Okay.
We're getting some loot.
Here's what these knuckleheads are doing, and I freaking love it. They're buying up big equipment pieces, right? They're getting huge backpacks. They're spending their money on it so that Landmark is always with the maximum storage. They get to an extract, they clear the zone, and then at the extract, they all throw their highest value loot on the ground, and Landmark goes through it piece by piece. He's checking their backpacks and seeing what pieces he wants to take with him. Does that make sense? So they're putting their highest value on him and make sure he has the best gear for every run they do after this.
Yeah, he is not taking a no for an answer when it comes to winning this event. I love the big brain plays. That's a great shout out because, again, we've got a lot on the line. $20,000. Let's break it all down again. $20,000 for the creators if they don't die. And well, apparently this is the same team fight, actually. So everybody revived, everybody got rescued, and then they're right back into it. We'll kind of get back to that in a second. I will say there are in-game rewards, by the way, for these creators. Whoever can win, and that tiebreaker, if no one dies, is how much loot you bring out. So that's the big brain play there from Landmark, but back into it.
All right, so Hutch is down. He has a timer on the yellow cross, which I believe means he can be rezzed as long as he's not looted. So he should be able to finish that. Zax gets killed. Now that was a flush, not an instant. So there's another one left. There it is. I'm that guy's bud.
Oh, baby.
So once you eradicate the other 3 and you still have your dog tag, you can be rezzed from yellow, if that makes sense, or brought back to life.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so there's kind of 2 different. You've got the rescue mechanic and the revive mechanic. Both have timers. One a lot longer than the other. One also takes longer than the other to get you back up. So.
And hey, if I get the terminology wrong, y'all, I apologize. I have only had about 8 hours with this bad boy. There's a lot of information. I haven't even tried hazard operations yet. I've spent all of my time in tactical turmoil or havoc warfare here.
Yeah.
Trying to understand the mechanics. And every time I play, I'm like, oh, well, that's new.
Yeah, no, there's a lot that we all get to learn together, which is so much fun. That's what I love about these kind of inaugural event broadcasts. Like the alpha test just came out yesterday, and we're already having 2 big events here showcasing some of the biggest creators in the game. So let's see what Shroud's able to do, dropping back in.
Hey, as long as we're in the game this time. Not losing.
I love the drop-in graphic.
Yeah, in Havoc Warfare, all of the 32 people on your team go sprinting in together screaming. It is the best thing ever.
Way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's lit.
TTK pretty low.
I will say, they have played fast and loose with chats, and so far I'm on board. But I'm curious to see how that continues. It sounds like 30 people running in a straight line screaming could go very badly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the actual like characters are screaming on the Ascension map. Yeah, on the Ascension map, actually, you actually come charging in and basically storm the beaches with like naval war boats. Yeah, you're
That's fire.
swinging in. They've got like AA guns. It's pretty nuts and chaotic, but I'm really loving the change of pace here with Tactical Turmoil.
I'm always down for an Omaha beach recreation.
Yeah, seriously.
Film or otherwise. So I'll have to go do it. But it does. I think that's the beauty of it, right? It's like, I haven't done it because we were working today, whatever. But it is one of those games where like grind out a couple Havoc Warfares and then be like, oh my gosh, this has been so intense. Everyone's sweaty. And then go play some Hazard Operations where 32 of you and your best friends are screaming out loud as you charge down the beaches, you know, and hope for fast kills. So I think it's kind of cool how diverse this game is, but how polished both modes look for an alpha.
Oh, totally agree. I'm seeing a lot of folks in chat saying the same.
Right? Like, I'll call a spade. I'm probably not supposed to do this. Right? I get paid to be here and talk about games. But I can tell you without being paid that this is probably one of the best looking alpha extractions I have ever gotten my hands on. And it is wild.
It's just so smooth. Like, I think that's the key, right? Like, I think a lot of people are looking at this with a lot of hope and a lot of promise, but then you get to have a chance to play it and you're like, oh my gosh, wait, what? It's already this smooth. And also just like the variability we also have in alpha is wild. Like, you have full different game modes, like totally different. And looks like Billy may be in a bit of trouble here, actually.
Nice.
Because there is a team on the outside, but Shroud doing Shroud things.
Yeah, I guess that Toker was distracted. He gets him from behind, takes him down. Nicely done. Now, he has switched over to Luna. So what he's doing, that's the arrow, baby! That arrow is so freaking powerful. Now, it gives you a radar surround, so you can spot everybody who's nearby.
Wow.
It is not level based, so you can stick it to the top of a tree, and it shows you everything inside of that circular area.
Nice stuff.
And if you shoot someone with Luna, you tag them even once, they stay marked for a couple of seconds, which is insanely important during those sort of like chase peaks, if that makes sense. Someone tries to jiggle peek you and run, and you tag them one time, you know where they're going.
Yeah,
love this character.
You have to have a Luna in your mix here with your squad. I think that what's fun is that you also get a chance to not only think about what you're bringing in, but also your party comp. And yeah, really liking the double Stinger and Luna, or you're seeing actually you have, I believe that's our Shepherd engineer being brought in as well as their third that Billy's running. That actually will give you access to a couple different areas in the map that you wouldn't be able to get to otherwise by being able to cut through some of the fencing.
There's actually a shocking amount of areas where I'll be in a fight or have been in a fight on both of the maps and thought to myself, we could have won this if we had the engineer because of the flank positions you can get from cutting some of those fences. But again, and that just shows that they've planned from the inception of this game's design how to use those operators in multiple modes. And that's what I really respect. Sometimes when I get games with the operators, they're really cool in one mode, not really functional in the other. Here, it's just everybody seems to really fit.
Well, yeah, and I think something like that's pretty nuanced, and I think a couple of folks that were talking about it before, and I had a chance to experience it as well, that I picked up on is, like, even the operator's abilities operate slightly differently in each game mode. Like, in Havoc Warfare, you have 6 shots of your therapeutic pistol that you see Landmark running right now. And in this one, you only have 3, which is obviously different because of the amount of players and what's going on. So let's take a quick look back at that replay because this fight, frankly, was awesome. We get an early knock here from Shroud, hits the recon arrow from Luna, and then just cleans house because you can see briefly through the smoke, know exactly where they are around the corners. Just flawless execution with the recon arrow.
And you guys saw the recon arrow. The beauty of it is he didn't shoot into the wall. He just shot it over the general area. And while it's traveling, you get your info. So if you're pushing, you just shoot that in front of you and chase the arrow, and you get so much good info. I love how quick he picked up on it.
Dipshit.
Yeah, he did. That is the danger of lasers. Keep that in mind in this game. Everyone can see them.
Yeah, we can see Summit trying to extract back out after a couple of tough team fights. I think the folks in the lobby starting to get a little bit more sweaty as they get deeper and deeper into this. I know some folks on the main stage, we were talking about them earlier, got close to taking down some of our creators. The question is, will we see their prize pool get diminished here in the last 30 minutes or so that we have left?
Right. You know, I think for me, that's what I think is most funny about this genre of game is every other genre that I play, I feel like my team gets less sweaty as the night goes on, right? Like Joe gets a little loopy, someone else starts to have too much fun. And by the time you're like 12 games in, you're like, all right, boys, I think we're done for the night. With right? In Extraction, for some reason, everybody starts like a moron. And then within about 2 games, everybody is in like hardcore loot goblin, play the corners mode. And I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, totally agree.
What? It only
I was experiencing that last night. I was playing with a couple friends, and we were getting really sweaty. And I looked up, and I was like, "Guys, we got a big broadcast with this, and I'm learning. But like, you have work in 5 hours. Like, what are we doing? Just having so much fun."
Yeah, my helmet.
But I think that's why I love the mode so much. There's no other mode that gives you so much time to talk to your teammates and enjoy like kind of hanging, but also talk to your streams from like a streamer's perspective. Like this downtime where you're hunting is also just really good conversation with your stream that's followed by these crazy bursts of energy and fight, and then back to chatting.
Yeah. Looks like
Nice.
quick cleanup here, no problem for Landmark and Co. Oh, maybe a little bit of problem. Sheaf hold
Scooby.
goes to yellow. Uh-oh.
I think you mean Rutro.
That's exactly right. And
That
that's
was insta.
that look, I will say one of my favorite parts of running Stinger, I was running Stinger all last night in both game modes, is that smoke screen. I was touting it yesterday on broadcast. That gadget is so dang cool because you can actually control with a gesture where that smoke line goes. So you can make it go vertically, you can curl it, you can block off a whole sight line. Very interesting and unique gadget.
Also, I will tell everybody at home, again, we'll try to throw some like little tips and walkaways as you get into this game. If you are playing solo or if you are actually grinding, Stinger is probably one of your best bets because the amount of money you save alone by having the heal pistol is insane, right? Like we just saw him heal his teammate to full and it saved them using an entire vehicle heal kit. So it's one of those things like it's just resource management in this mode is very important, and that operator comes with free money essentially.
Yep, exactly. Definitely one of the most powerful right now in hazard operations, aka tactical turmoil. But again, we're playing for 90 minutes basically.
Cow. That gun he just picked up.
Oh, I missed it. Did he find a new weapon?
Yeah, he's holding it. Look, it's a LMG with a hammer. Jeez.
Yeah, talk about some value. Needs an extended mag on that thing. Only holding 45 right now, but still, that's a big one.
Wow, that's wild. So, and the other thing this game does, and I think you guys are seeing it right now, is we're using use, but there's a details button, and even when you just hover over an item you're looting, it tells you the estimated value of the item based on what vendors will pay and the auction house averages, which means you don't have to have 35 websites open on your second monitor to determine what loot is worth taking. And I gotta be honest, the kid who grew up in me playing like EverQuest and loving being treated badly by games was confused when this first started. But now that I understand it's okay to have fun, like that's so nice, man.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very nice.
It's okay to have fun. That was a lesson I learned in my gamer 30s.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Yeah, sometimes I'll be playing a game and get real sweaty and like making IGL calls, and I'm like, am I having fun?
Am I enjoying this?
Yeah.
Am I? I spent a lot of years in a specific top-down MOBA. And I had to ask myself that when I finally retired.
I think Landmark's having a great time with the new weapon he found, though.
Dude, Landmark's having this is him in his element.
Yep. Like fun.
How comfortable he is. He's like, I'm tired. It doesn't matter. This is just what I do.
Yeah, speaking of weapons, by the way, we're seeing actually a pretty wide value of like SMGs, machine guns, assault rifles. Like, there are over 40 weapons in the game right now in alpha. As we're fighting a couple more elims with our big machine guns. It's actually crazy. And well, finally, Landmark taking a bit of damage. And talk about the efficacy of the Stinger. Look at that.
I'm going for the guy.
No friendly fire.
Yeah, luckily.
I wonder if Confidential has friendly fire.
That's great. I'm not at high enough level, so
I know. I wish we had like. Can we do another event in 4 days once I've had time to max out my levels?
That's right.
Like, because if Confidential has friendly fire, which I would not be shocked. Oh, all right. So we got to kill that. There's a little boss at the end here.
Nice.
Didn't really matter much.
I just killed a guy that was crawling.
Now, part of that is a reminder for everybody watching at home. They are playing Dam, which is the first map, and they are playing it on the entry-level mode. So this is. The NPCs in this mode are not that bad, right? Your bosses will go down with a magazine dump, That said, if you do it in the next mode, confidential, etc., you should expect it to be significantly stronger.
Yeah, and again, we're doing that for you all at home because you can get involved in this event. We got about 30 minutes or a little bit less than that now. Get into the lobby, try to take down one of our creators, grab their dog tags, get out. You could earn $1,000 and take away $1,000 out of their 20K overall creator prize pool.
You say 30 minutes left?
Yeah, it's 90 minutes of in-game, at least queue time. We'll have a little bit past that as creators are allowed to finish the games they're on.
That's a travesty. Goalie, add more time.
Yeah, that's
add
what
more
I'm
time.
saying.
I don't want to go home yet. This is a ball.
Wait, do you want to snap?
He said he can't add more time, so you guys got to get in the game right now. Upside, me and Goj will be playing for the rest of the night, so if you just want to kill people who are easier to slay,
I do not have $1,000 for you, but I will shout you out on Twitter if you grab my dog tag, and I'll definitely retweet on Twitter if you can grab one of these creator dog tags because you can walk away with $1,000, folks.
25K.
Hey man, I'll also say for the next week, if you kill either of us, tweet it at us, and we'll retweet it and hype you as a better player than I am.
That's right. And
I'll
looks
be
like,
there.
Looks like Shroud's doing a little bit of the same here, trying to extract with a good bit of value. And also, you notice like how many Havoc coins do you have dictates whether or not they can even use this extraction point. So I think they're trying to figure out a couple things.
Hold on.
Well, they want to get all those. Those scopes are a big deal. I will say this, gentlemen. Don't stress about it as much. You got 30 minutes left. If you have 3 or 4 kitted guns, that'll be enough for you to run the rest of the tournament. So you don't have to pass as many attachments as before, but those attachments have a lot of value. And I don't know if they're selling them on the auction house between games, because if you guys are playing at home right now, some of the best money you can make is ripping attachments off of any firearm you find and auction housing it for a little bit more than it's actually worth. They will sell. So if you're looking at any hollow, if it attaches to the gun and it is not a grip, it will sell very well right now.
Again, pro strats with Toffees. The guy's been grinding. I'm telling you, game came out yesterday, already giving you all the strategies, auction house, and everything in between. There's so much in the black site. There's so many departments. There's so many cool things you can level up to play exactly like you want to, and that's my my favorite part about the game thus far. So having a lot of fun with this, but
I have a ballistic missile on the auction house right now for 1.5 million, but no one's bought it. So if you guys want a ballistic missile, it's on the auction house.
That's so funny. You're picking up ballistic missiles? Did you find it in Layali Grove?
Yeah, it was in some random, like not even a good box, and it was an it's all I know is it's an orange.
Nice.
It's worth like million plus. So I was like, gotta leave, boys. Sorry.
I love that. Yeah, so there are 2 maps, folks, if you're wondering. Like, and again, Alpha, we've got 2 different game modes. We've got 2 maps here. We've got our Zero Dam and then Layali Grove, which you unlock at level 7, which frankly, it doesn't take that long. You'll get to level 7 before you can even blink twice. You can try out Layali Grove. There aren't as many players that are, at least last I checked, that were playing it. So sometimes it'll take a little bit longer to get into the game. But I know we are burning through our Steam keys here and our alpha test drops on Twitch. So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more players playing here shortly, and a lot more players over level 7 trying to test out the second map.
But I think that speaks, honestly, really well for the developers, because I think people are a little gun shy at this point about jumping in on some of the extractions that are rolling out. Everyone wants in after watching last night and seeing the smoothness of this game, but also the general sense of, I don't know what the word is. You're better with words, maybe, Goj. Like transparency. I guess it's actually probably the right word. Of the developers. The fact that we've already got release videos that talk about how they're handling anti-cheat, how they're handling game modes, what their long-term plan is, what they think about pay to win. Like, these are things that I'm not used to seeing so aggressively from developers, and it means a lot because it means they're taking what we want into account on release.
Yeah, and I said this before, and I'll repeat it again. Free to play, 0 pay to win, big public stance on cheaters and how they're going to address those with anti-cheat. So I think there's a lot of things that you all can take a look at. And one of the ways you can actually find all of this information is through some Q&As that we've done with the dev team, and a lot of info actually in that Discord, by the way. So I'd love for you to go check out the official Delta Force Discord. !Discord will pull that up for you. I also believe it's down below beneath the Twitch channel. You'll see a big old panel that says join the Discord, and it's also on the website. There's a ton of different ways to find it. Click that link, get into the Discord. And if you're not somebody that's like super familiar with Discord, there's also some great moderators in there that can help you out, help you figure it out. So some cool stuff in there, and honestly a great resource to find all the info you could ever want about the future and what's on the horizon also for Delta Force.
So if you find a key
I'd also say, since we're hyping the game right now, keep in mind there's also another game mode that's not out yet called Black Hawk Down, which is a campaign.
Yeah, that's right.
Based on not only the movie, which if you're old as like I am, you remember.
Oh yeah.
But also the actual campaign from the 2003 edition of Black Hawk. So if you played Delta Force back in the day, there is a nostalgic updated mode coming based on the Black Hawk Down movie, and I am so excited about
it. It's all rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5, and it actually mimics the exact streets in Mogadishu. It's very, very cool stuff. Been reading a lot about it, and if you're an old head like us, maybe you played some of the early Delta Force titles way back in the day, and it's fun to kind of see this title get resurgenced. But let's take a quick look back at some of these replays, and look, we had some tough fights. I mean, Summit's dad was in the lobby, so we're having a great time, and some folks
got that dad strength.
I know, and they were trying to take down Summit, and they were able to do it. They took Summit down. They couldn't quite grab the dog tag and extract, though. They did not get a full wipe on his team. A couple revives, a couple rescues. Summit fell several times, but Hutch, Vibin, kept him alive, and there's still $20,000 on the line for these creators. So far, so good. Shroud's side looked quite a bit easier. A couple recon arrows, and then just raw gunny. Shroud was not missing.
Yeah, Shroud's been rolling less games, though. So while he's playing well, I kind of think that he might not be putting in the same valuation. And since no creator has died yet, they're technically tied.
Yes,
so whoever makes the most and gets the most loot is going to thrive on this one. And I think that'll probably be, Landmark has been kind of throwing gear to each other. So there's a good chance that they've worked out a good run here. Either way, though, I think the big winners are us, who get to go in here and are allowed to try to hunt these guys down. Like that's just fun for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I might have to boot up while we're casting and have a little dual monitor action and see what I can do. Get a little active here, because folks, look, $20,000 still in the creator prize pool, but also for you, if you can take them out, grab their dog tag, extract, and then post on X, aka Twitter, at @DeltaForce_game, and use the hashtag DFHO dog tag. There it is. There's your hashtag. You can earn some prizing as well. At them, they'll see it, we'll see it. I'll give you a retweet, because that would be certainly impressive. And still a little bit of time to do that. We gave them 90 minutes to load into a game. They have to queue inside of that 90 minutes, and we're about 15-ish minutes away from that time limit, so we'll probably see 1 to maybe 2 more games.
What I'm assuming right now is that we're in a bit of a down, because all 3 teams have extracted, and if they're going in for their last 15-minute run, they will wear whatever their best gear is and try to spend the maximum amount of time they can in high loot zones. You don't want to get tapped early, because getting back in is not going to be possible. So we'll have a slight lull while they get their perfect gear loadout on, and then get back into the matches. And meanwhile, we can give you a shout out. I liked the casual flex goes of being like, I'm just going to queue up. I'm going to start the game while also broadcasting at the same time, because my computer is made of God. But it's not, because I will say this about this game as well. It is, for how good it looks, not as hard on the computer as I expected. Now, do I have an incredible machine? Yes. Is it running at extreme? Yes. But it can't do that with other games. So I think that the optimization here has been phenomenal.
No, yeah, they put out a whole public sequence. Again, you can find that in the Discord. You can find that on the website about all the minimum mechanics you need in a rig to get the game going and at a good rate. And frankly, it's not all that much, so it's actually very accessible. So I want to remind everybody, join that Discord. I've already been telling you about that. Also, it's worth mentioning too. We've been mentioning the Discord in particular, but also just all of their major socials. They've got a lot going on Twitter X, also on YouTube, TikTok with content. I even saw their Instagram page, and whoever the social media intern is over there, or maybe full-time employee, maybe, because you have unreal style. I love the panel look on the Instagram. You can take a look at that. I believe we've got all of those links down below on our big panels here on Twitch. And then also, the best way to support the team, support the game, and get all the updates you need is all with that wish list command, ! Wish list. And the panel down below, or just head over to Steam and wishlist the game now by typing in Delta Force Hawk Ops, and then click wishlist. It is so simple, and you'll get everything you need and more from a notification standpoint and updates on everything Delta Force. So great way to support the game. Love to be able to shout that out, because again, I think there are tons of you that have done this already, and well over 120,000, I think, at this point that have joined the Discord. So Go get involved. We're loving what we're seeing this so far.
And I'll give you guys real talk because everyone's asking, how do we get keys? You know, there is a limited number per day. Part of that is the fact that it's a launch. You don't want to smash the servers with 200,000 people on day one. It could go badly. So we're rolling it out. It's going great. If you want more chances at keys, be back here Saturday. Follow, and I'm not kidding, social media and stuff, because I got my key just by following and seeing when the next round was coming out. So if you're following socials, if you're wish listed, and if you're here on Saturday, you'll have every available opportunity to get into this alpha, which you're going to want to be in because I guarantee we're going to be talking about this for the next couple of weeks and then going into release.
Yeah, it's a great shout. And you're seeing it in chat, too, if you're hanging out here in the Twitch main broadcast with us. Our moderators are saying that supplies for today has been finished. But again, more coming Saturday. Toffees was just talking about that. If you need a key, stay tuned to social, stay tuned to Discord. There might be other ways you can get them. But for now, from a drop standpoint, Saturday is your next best bet, all right? So keep that in mind as we go forward. But back to the action, because we're running out of daylight here, and Shroud has found, well, chocolate milk on the other side. As
love chocolate milk.
Continuing to just rain terror in these lobbies. Nobody is even able to even flesh Shroud at this point. They're having no problem.
That's why Luna's so good. So they knew, even though it was a single kill, that by shooting that arrow, there's no one in this room. Now I know where they are. They're outside to the right.
In left corner. Hold on, I might be able to get an angle on them.
There he goes.
Oh, sneaky. Oh, all right, Shroud.
And that's the flush.
I don't think I did. Maybe different weapon?
No, I said hold on.
Very smart. And, you know, because he saw the arrow used and he knew it wasn't on top of him. Wait, was that a player out there?
Yeah, I think this is the second squad.
So they were the third party.
That's right.
So Dolaman, the poor guy, was just hoping he could hide there and then they'd wipe these guys and think it was over.
Oh, you only... Is he just down?
Fresh guy.
Respect. So this right here, if you guys find yourself in this room, it is a choke point with two accessible positions. One's that courtyard, one's the tube room. If you are held here, just leave the other way and don't bother coming back.
Yeah, I mean, your only other option, frankly, is throw some visual cover out with that smoke screen that you can throw with Stinger. Probably next best bet, but you can already
have
see.
To get out, because if someone's got triple grenade over there, you're done in this room, period.
Oh, it looks like just one. Maybe able to chow this, and they do. That's Shepard going down. Nice.
Yeah, they fit, I think.
It's that whole squad, yeah. Okay, doing...
Was that, the last one went, because he got the kill and the last one bled out.
There's a weird glitch that happens when you swap, like...
That's nice, dude. That's a full, double team wipe. Gets third-partied, and I think that's, oftentimes what we talk about with even in our, we were talking about it actually in Havoc Warfare, too, is like, third partying, fourth partying, and beyond. The way to get out of that is wipe one of those squads as fast as humanly possible, so then you truly make it a team fight.
Then I'll come bring you just a bunch of...
Somebody locked in, trying to be.
All right, taking a look. Everybody's on the last run. It looks like we are just starting the final drop for Summit, so they're coming in right now. Shroud's, is he kidding? Is he looting? He's looting, so he's got some nice gear going on right now. Landmark and the boys are going to be looking for purples right now, so I expect them to go to the 2 or 3 safes on this map.
Yeah, a couple saves, feeling really good right now. Saw a ping there, an arrow goes pretty much over the entirety of the map, and you saw a couple pings off into the distance of some players, so sure they're going to maybe even make a move on this. Hey, the best defense is some good offense, yeah? So you spot out an opponent that's trying to grab $1,000 off of you by grabbing your dog tag, maybe you just take him out first.
All right, so I'm getting feedback on the rule system. They've got to be in by the end timer, but they can take as long as they need to get back out.
That's right.
So we should see some teams. Honestly, if I'm them, I get very aggressive here in the next. Well, maybe not right now. 3 minutes. No, you need at least 6 minutes to get back in the game. So you just got to make this one last. If you're Landmark, you got to run this full 25 minutes.
Woo! Yeah, Landmark is... I will also tell you, yesterday, I mean, this is completely unsurprising. This is exactly what Landmark does always. But even yesterday in Havoc Warfare, first game in our competition, he went 92-7.
Yeah, but that's what I like about this mode, though. Normally, all I get to watch is Landmark kill stuff, but because he's the VIP, I'm going to see, like, Logical do a bunch of things. Because, like, we've all been there, right? Like, I'll play with some of the pros that I work with, and it sucks because I can't get a kill because I'll spot someone and be like, oh, there's a guy there, and then they all die, right?
Yeah,
like, I could have killed him. I'm not bad. I'm just not as good as you.
That's right.
Not that Logical isn't as good as him, but it's fun to see someone else getting the 86 kills occasionally.
Yeah, it was a wild feat. The exact same team too. I think it was Logical that was holding down sniper support from distance, and my goodness, Landmark was on a tear.
Well, when Landmark's on a vibe, there's no stopping him. I've covered a couple of his events, and they can be an experience to say the least. I think there's very few other players that I've seen lock into a zone as aggressively as he does in this mode.
Game started after then will not count.
Wait, so are we?
All right, there they go. They're going over it.
Yeah. We have 9 minutes left. If we start a game before
are they
4:30,
are they going to go for it?
I think they might.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk worth taking, especially if you think you're in a good spot already.
Yeah, and queue times in Zero Dam are actually really quick. I think you might be able to extract out here with whatever you've got and get one more in.
218 meters. They've got so the game offers you a fast unpack button. So when you leave the game, you have 60 seconds where you can choose to hit a button that says move to stash, and everything just moves. And then you get back out and jump in. So I think they could pull it off. I do think it's a risk, but if they don't, they'll be really bored watching Summit play for an extra 15 minutes.
the one in the front lines right now.
117k M4 and a 290k M4.
He is so gassed. Just drop some stuff, man. Drop an extra gun.
That is something else you got to remember if you don't play a lot of extraction shooters. The more weight on you, the closer you are to your load limit, the less stamina, the slow you'll be. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Don't pick him up. Just get out and re-queue. Chief's a bit of a loot goblin. Oh, look at that. He's just wearing... Oh, my God. He's so kitted. They got him so much gear.
Yeah.
It's
is that Bulletin 5? Is that 5?
Yes.
It is.
I think Orange is 5. That's wild.
17k, one slot right here.
Yeah, the chance of Landmark dying is next to nothing, okay? I think he's winning our tiebreaker. I think he's going to be winning some in-game rewards. We talked about the Vector that is Alpha exclusive. We also talked about the 1 million Havoc coins that he'll be getting in-game. But again, all three of these creators do keep their 20k split up evenly between them. So they're going to extract out here. You should see Landmark get into a game, get about 6 minutes or so now to get back into one more.
All this time, the real boss was the timer.
That's right.
Will he be able to defeat it?
AI or
AI? Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, we'll check in with Shroud. We'll let you guys know if Landmark makes it back in the next. He has 6 minutes to pull this off.
You're permitted to queue into a game before 90
Okay, captain's down.
Will still count. Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, if this place isn't hit, this could be our like million up.
You guys, this is not a discussion for you guys. I think at this point, you have to stay the whole time. At this point.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be able to get. They would have to sprint to an extraction point, get out, and then immediately queue back in, and it would be very close.
Their nearest one is like 600 meters if they're carrying the money for extraction.
Yeah.
So when we're ready,
it's just
this is the room, and we just pull this lever in here. But yeah, let's try to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're saying stay. We're gonna stay. They're gonna come back here and extract maybe out from this area because again, we talked about the extraction points. There's several different ones, and some of them you actually have to find like the lever, pull the lever, and that'll pull the extraction. So yeah, a couple different.
I wish Shroud was being less polite. So like right now, Shroud is wearing a broken vest, but he hasn't told his teammates, "Give me your vest" yet.
He ran.
That's right. That's right.
Down the hall, north.
Uh-oh. Summit is drawing the majority of the team fights. Oh, no!
Oh!
Damn, I'm going to die here.
All right.
Another one. Same spot.
I'm going to die. Lay down. Lay down.
All the...
Nice, Vibin.
No. There's still... Another one here.
I'm healing. Don't fight right now.
They are in the mix right now.
Got him.
Nice, Hutch. It's only a knock. There's still 2 more. At least 2-1. That's a flush. The sound keys. If you turn up, I forgot what the abbreviation is. They have the sound mode. It's actually really nice directionally. HRTMF, is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but anyway, you can click it yourself when you get into options, and so far I found it to be very effective.
Jasper got slammed, but picks up that M4, by the way, that Jasper have. That's the tutorial one. It's actually quite good for a starting weapon. Here's a quick look back on one of those fights. And this moment was great. The hip fire to close this out was awesome.
I'm gonna die here. Another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
He just had that drum mag and went to town. It worked. But also the comms. The fact that he called that he was in trouble and both of his teammates collapsed from 2 sides. Epic team play. And they didn't even know there was a second team in the offing. They responded and were able to defend against another push right afterwards. So very, very cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Woo!
Yeah, something else worth mentioning too is like once you start playing the confidential game mode where you have to pay some of your Havoc coins to get in, and there's like a buy-in. Obviously the loot's higher, enemies a bit more difficult. There's also something that is like the unique loot of the game called Mandel bricks, which I haven't actually experienced yet, but they're very, very cool. That is your unique loot. You have to go get them decrypted. And while you're carrying them, you basically are pinged on every other active player's map of where you are. You are basically a most wanted everyone wants to hunt down because they can grab the Mandel bricks as well from your body if they take it from your, cold dead clutches.
That's just so wild.
Okay, let's go.
I can't wait. I haven't gotten there yet, right? So I've read up on it. I'm like, this idea of an item that marks you, but if you get it out, has a huge chance of getting rares and like. It sounds like an awesome idea, and I cannot wait to test it. It's one of those, like, can we come back next week for Mandel bricks?
It's going to change the pace of play for sure, right? Like, when one person gets it, whether you or even an opponent in the game, like, totally could dictate, like, hey, are we abandoning the mission that we're trying to do and just go get this Mandel brick? It's funny. I bring it up, too, because yesterday in the Havoc Warfare, competition, we had Landmark versus Nicewig, and Landmark won. Landmark's not only going to get 2 Mandel bricks in game from winning that, but he's also going to get a real Mandel brick with his name engraved on it. He's probably going to put in the back of his stream setup. So some fun stuff there that Landmark will definitely already have earned, and maybe he'll earn more today.
That was awesome. Also, Landmark made it back in, so they got in with 2 minutes left on the timer, which means that they get to run the whole thing. So that'll be very, very interesting.
Nice.
It looked like, was that Shroud looking like they might be extracting right now?
Yeah, that'd be maybe a misstep. Maybe he just doesn't have room, but I don't think he's going to get in.
You can't queue in a minute.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Are they in a different time zone, or are they a few minutes behind us?
I don't think that's how time zones work, but you never.
Oh, I wish it did.
You never know.
So we'll see what they end up doing. Landmark and the crew, I thought it was fascinating. We'll check in on them when we finish up here with Summit, because his build was actually really unique comparative to what the other teams are doing. But that said, this fight just continues.
Yeah, they have been fighting in this area for a while, and I think that's the nature of the competition right now, is that most people that are trying to hunt you down will probably know where you are, at least where you were when they last checked, where you've been going the last couple maps, so might have to stay here for a little bit.
Absolutely. So, maybe it's more fun to have people come. They're coming to you. If someone's coming to hunt you, they're bringing their best kit, which means there's a lot of money that you get to carry out if you kill them.
Yeah, I think Summit's saying, let them come.
Yep.
Let them come to me in the AC West Wing. I'm ready.
And he's gotten very good at fighting in this particular little pocket of stairwell that he's sitting in right now.
That's right.
So there he goes. He shows us, all right, here's the build they're using. Diversified operators.
Fucking random ratting.
I think Hutch.
No, so far no kills, Nathan.
Yeah, I think Hutch has been kind of taking the brunt of the fights here, which certainly makes sense.
I don't think I can here.
Yeah, Hutch has been all over the place.
Wait, I have one more.
That's been pretty wild, to be honest.
Nathan in the Twitch chat saying, I'm coming for him. Well, good luck, my friend. You're running out of daylight. I think we're in our final maps. Maybe Shroud sneaks his way into it in the last millisecond of our timer, which should be closing out here in the next couple seconds.
So remember, if you guys are playing, when you are injured, it gives you a prompt to press 5 to use the fix. If you are new, that does not mean it is the most functional fix for you. It is whatever gets you the closest to fighting shape in that moment. So if it's a broken limb, it might offer you a painkiller, or stopping it'll heal you first, and then you won't be able to do your suture. So you want to make sure that you are aware of the situation. If you just finished a fight, open your inventory or hold the 5 so that you can select the correct item, because they won't always suggest the right fix item. They'll suggest whatever you need to be able to fight right now.
Yeah, it's a great shout, and it is that scroll wheel, basically. So if you hold it down, you'll see the wheel of options you have in your inventory. Very cool shout. And I will say, our production team said Shroud did make it within a couple seconds.
No
just needed
way,
to get into the loading screen, and apparently there's a lot of folks dropping into Zero Dam right now. So
okay,
I think queue times were less than a minute. That's for sure. Very well done.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see some good value out of that for Shroud, and see if anybody can maybe catch him on his way in. I think a lot of people are probably watching that. Here's the last chance you could maybe try to get in and hunt him down if you're not already in the same lobby as Landmark and or Summit. And frankly, I would not be trying to get into the same lobby as Landmark. That is not... he's going to be so hard to take down.
But if you aren't in, this is the final 3 lobbies for these teams. They go down, all they can do is watch their opponents rack up more points. So you kind of want to last as long as you can if you're these guys. Shroud hitting those 1-taps like crazy.
Look at Shroud. I mean, he's
All right,
got
so-
the gunny. There's no question.
So Landmark has lost both of his teammates
Uh-oh.
at this point. So whatever they ran into right after they spawned was a brutal fight. Now he's alive because they kitted him for the VIP. He's using a short-range weapon, kitted for short-range battle with heavy armor. So he basically was like never going to be the scout, which is fine until everyone else is dead.
I thought this was somewhere else.
Wow.
And now he's going to move at half the speed of everyone else because of his weight, and he doesn't necessarily have the same long-range engagements that they might have with their hammers. So this will be a tough transition for him. He's probably going to head straight for the extract.
Yeah, I mean, also worth mentioning too. Oh, this. I think AI. We're okay. We're okay.
Yeah, AI.
Don't need to throw
And
bullets down
smartly,
range.
and this is a big moment if you're an extraction newbie. You don't have to take the shot. Sometimes not taking the shot is the best way out. He relocated to a spot where his back was secure, got the kill, and the second he got it, he left again. Because you don't want those hyenas chasing your shots to be able to catch up to you.
Yeah, and also you saw those timers go out. So Sheaf, Logical, fully out of the game, cannot come back. He needs to get to an extraction point, and that's what he's doing right now. All by himself.
Stamina boost.
It's a bit spooky. Look, I was saying Landmark was the one that was going to be the hardest to kill, and apparently ran into a very tough team fight.
Could have taken. It takes it from your stash.
Does it? No. Does it?
Oh.
Good to know.
I didn't know that either. I'm still somewhat skeptical.
Yeah.
That feels like that feels like info from chat, but I could be, but maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, chat's been wrong plenty of times.
But I was standing at that extract today, at least twice, pushing the button, hoping it would work. So, but maybe it does. Now I got to go back. So Landmark is, he should have no issue.
Yeah, the other one's nice too.
They both are. They're very different maps, by the way. If you guys haven't played the
Yeah.
Grove, it is a lot more verticality, a lot more maze styles, like a lot of canyons where you kind of have to plan how you're going to move through them ahead of time. It's been very enjoyable. All right, here he goes.
All right. Wow, that was maybe a little... Yeah, I got a little sweaty on that one, Landmark. That one got a little crazy, and it looks like Shroud's in the mix as well, bottom left. Summit still kind of lurking in the same area he was at before, but well done, Landmark. So Landmark will get out, which means he is done for the day here, Toffees, and he did not die, was never eliminated, and likely looted the most, so I think he'll probably win some prizing in-game, but the creators are splitting this 20K as long as nobody falls here, and we're into a gunfight.
Here's the thing I love most about them, right? Is this speaks to these players, because if they had not rushed to re-queue, they all would have gotten out and they all would have split $20,000. But they want to be the winners so much that all of them jumped back into another match so that they could have more loot than everyone else, because winning is what matters most to these guys.
That's right. It's all ego all day, and well, Summit is in trouble. This team all fairly weak, but Hutch, last up, it looks like not all three alive, but feeling pretty comfortable in this spot right now. Again, everybody is just swooping to them.
They're dead now.
And they are holding down the Smith plant.
They're fucking dead
So
now.
he's got hazy vision because he's suffering from an injury that causes pain. You can fix that with painkillers or just going ahead and fixing the break.
Piece of shit. All right, well,
Everybody's loving that
we should go ahead
SSG.
and get out of here.
Or
Close it up.
the SG552. Such a good gun.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty looted. He is a zeroed out chest piece, by the way. If there is another team, I think likely there won't be. I think they've probably cleaned up everybody in this one. They've been in it for a while. I think about 14 minutes remaining on the timer here.
I will say that too about Delta Force for those of you who maybe are experienced in extraction shooters. I have been very happy with how the vests and the armor zero out. They actually zero out relatively quickly, but it's not impossible to replace them with lower quality gear as you play. So
yeah,
it's not like other games where you feel like going in tanky leaves you tanky for 30 minutes. You actually have to play to avoid fights if you want to stay tanky.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Now, also, you can repair, like you're not losing that piece. You can go repair that when you get back to the lobby in your stash, and it'll like slowly decrease the amount of armor that it provides the more you repair it. But
also worth mentioning, there are items, both one for helmets and one for vests, that you can carry into the match and repair your vest live while you play. but you have to risk it while you're in there. So I think there's a lot of these mechanics they've added that add extra levels of playability.
I'm bleeding. I didn't realize.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, well, Shroud and let's see, Shroud and Summit, last two up. I think both still in their games. We got a little bit of time here, so let's take a look at Shroud.
Give it to you, Mike.
And he is making sure he has plenty of ammo for whatever is to come down the line. No question, he's going to be able to fight anyone that moves his way. And let's get a quick recon arrow. Does spot out a couple in the area, but nothing pressing.
I heard some steps.
Exactly. It's check before you loot, you know? Smart. Don't get the ceramics. They are not valuable.
Take up a lot of space, too.
And it didn't. So, and I guess we're watching them loot. Remember, if you guys are at home, you can check all of the value of items. But it's all about, we call it basically value per slot. So the idea of how much is it worth in context of how many slots it takes. If you're new to this genre, it can be very discombobulating. Like, oh, that's a giant blue item. I should take it. It's worth 15,000. That sounds cool. But if you get 4 small items instead that are each worth 7,000, it's significantly more income for you. So make sure you're always checking how do you maximize the slot value for every single part of your backpack.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about with the cement bag. You could put an entire bag of cement in your backpack, and it's like, oh, it's like 39,000. That's great, but it also takes up like most of your backpack. So
that said, in my experience with Extraction, I am willing to bet that at some point between level 25 and 40, you will unlock a black site upgrade that involves cement bags.
Okay.
And the cement bag cost will probably skyrocket overnight.
Keep that in mind. I like it. Back to Summit, and apparently we're in trouble here with Summit. All of a sudden, we blinked. He's out of his safe place.
Fuck, dude.
Hutch is full out. Vibin's in trouble, and Summit's getting ripped. This could be the moment. I'm not praying on his downfall, but a little triple blaster to provide some cover.
That'll slow him down.
Yeah, he's all by himself right now.
It's crazy that this has only happened in the final game. Oh, they're going hard at him. There's got to be someone hunting. Oh, he was killed by him.
Oh, no.
It was him.
That guy gets 1,000 after stream sniping his fucking dick off.
Oh, no. He finally is taken out. Oh, no. I know. They've got to be so frustrated, though, because they wanted to have a chance at maybe winning the tiebreaker for the in-game rewards. Oh, wow.
You know what makes it worse? Landmark and his team were watching it. They were like, no, my money.
Well, we'll see. Maybe if him knows what's going on, if he knows that him, you've certainly proven you're him in this moment, but got to post it on the timeline and see what you're able to do. See if you're able to walk away with that cash, because the creator prize pool down by $1,000. The final player, Shroud, last alive in the final lobby. See if it does get decreased by a bit more than that.
That was me.
Also, a great name. It's just like, that's just a good way to make people angry. You like kill someone to like, who got you? It was him. Give me real calls, man.
You're certainly him. But yeah,
exactly.
A tough way to end it. And I think that's so funny. We talked about like some of the creators that you know, Shroud and Landmark, that tried to like sneak into one more game. They wanted one more on main stage, and Summit was bogged down by a ton of teams looking out for him, and apparently gets punished for it.
Can I also give? I want to give one more tip before this thing comes to an end.
I like it.
Every one of our teams, players, is using a 2-slot safe box. If you got the game by signing up for the alpha, you can go into your inventory, and it's one of the, you know, all those tabs of different passes and season stuff. One of them lets you rent. It's given to you when you get the key. A 4-slot safe box for 4 days for free. So you get to try out the bigger safe box.
There you go.
Which I'm shocked that none of these guys have done. But if you're doing it at home, go get it, because it makes your game much easier.
Also, while you're giving pro tips, Shroud was saying, Summit gave away our money for what?
I know, right? Exactly.
Down to 19K.
Yeah, but it says Shroud as he queues for another round with 30 seconds on the clock.
That's right.
Come, my lord.
Risk is reward.
Okay, right here. I'm gonna drop stuff, and you just need to figure it out.
Oh boy.
You just need to figure it out.
This is the inventory Tetris, right? You got to figure out how it all fits.
So, if you're ever doing this with your friend, I think you just throw the backpack on the ground. They can search it.
Unless fuel cell. All right.
Okay. Fuel cell seems good.
I don't know how to open these trucks, but we can literally provide. It has power. I'm in.
Wait, they can drive trucks? Tell me more.
Big loot.
Hey, Mike. go, dude.
He had to provide power to a truck. We got Shroud. We gotta go see what's going on over there, right?
Shroud, go look. I only have your camera. See how he did that? He threw the backpack down so you just get the backpack and search through it. There we go. Swap those bad boys out. They got a bigger bag.
Nice. I mean, Shroud's got ammo, folks. If you
Yeah,
were
with the
wondering,
ammo at this point.
he's got some ammo he can use.
Holy.
What did you get, Matt? You said it was powered. What was it?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know how those trucks, we couldn't open them last night? This one was just open this time. I don't know.
Tell me more. Somebody look at it, please, Shroud.
Shroud is way more focused on extracting with the highest value
I was
loot that he can.
Goj and I are playing in roughly 12 to 17 minutes. Like, I need to know about this truck.
I love it. Folks, we've been having a blast with this whole broadcast, by the way. And again, I'm seeing some folks ask questions about drops. We have more drops coming on Saturday, by the way. It's all supplies last, putting them out, rolling them out, making sure the servers stay nice and good. So more will come on Saturday. Make sure you're tuned into socials on what's going on and how to get those and who's going to potentially have those active. But they'll all be on Twitch with creators and everybody else playing the game that has those active. And I've got some more info for you after this. Once Shroud gets out of the game, we'll be wrapping up here on broadcast. We're actually going to have a chance to interview potentially one of our creators as well. But get some more info about some more things coming down the line. So you're not going to want to miss that.
Holy macaroni.
I like info. That's this mode is all about, gathering info.
That's right.
All right, so we're on Shroud because he is all that remains. For those of you who are curious, they got in at the very last moment. They get to run out this entire map and just stack as much expensive stuff as they possibly can. So I think this is where you start to throw away some of your ridiculous amount of ammunition. Maybe.
I mean, I'm at 900K now. That's pretty cool. I dropped a.
Wait, is that an overall? Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay, that's dirt on my face. I didn't know there was an overall battle earnings on the top.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
I never even looked at it.
900K is pretty impressive.
Sheesh.
I think Landmark's biggest that I saw. I think he locked a 2 million game, by the way.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Wow.
900K here, but Landmark came in a little bit more stacked and gets paid for it.
I'm out here like, please buy my missile, and in Landmark's like, I get 2 million in a game, bud.
Well, you probably did on that game, by the way. You know, like combining the missile with anything else you had.
Oh yeah, maybe if it ever sells, but he's just like walking around 2 mil heavy all the time.
Look, it's Landmark.
Hear that
right?
guy dragging into a map from a mile away.
Can you hold it, Mike? Yeah.
What's the size?
1 slot.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Maximizing. Because the thing that you guys remember, Shroud knows he's going into the final with a tie against Landmark.
That's right. Yeah, Summit is out of it at this point. Summit will not be. He will still be earning the creator prize pool of now $19,000. But you're right. Yeah, for the in-game rewards, it comes down to total loot value.
Yep. And Landmark barely made it out. If Landmark hadn't been wearing that tier 5, I think it was a 5 or 6, I don't know for sure, armor, he would have gotten caught when his other 2 teammates went down, and then it would have been an easy. Shroud would have just been the only one not eliminated. So, great job surviving by Landmark. And Shroud's now got to try to make up a massive run.
Also, you know, I'll be curious to see. Reminder, him who took down Summit. I'll be curious to see if they end up posting that proof on the timeline, tagging Delta Force, and maybe they'll walk away with that $1,000 they stole away from Summit and the creators.
Have to. I really hope they do. He's got to. Come on, him.
And also,
the question is, him still has to survive.
Yeah, I also feel bad for our good friend Booker DeWitt that was in chat, who said he got toasted by, I think it was Summit Squad. So
it was.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Was it a while ago?
Yeah.
It was. There was like 2 or 3. That I think the biggest mistake he made is he was really excited about securing that kill, and he made the right choice. He pushed up the stairs. He tried to cover the body. I think it was Summit that he had knocked, but they just came around the corner so fast, the rest of his team, that there was nothing he could do.
Black Hawk Down or whatever. So they have like they have a campaign of Black Hawk Down. I'm so excited for that one. I don't think it's out yet.
This one has like meds. Looks like.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, Shroud knows what he's talking about. This is what we were. This is what we were talking about before. Toffee's about the campaign, the Black Hawk Down campaign. It's like an exact replica. It's so sick. Like they literally mimic the streets in Mogadishu for Black Hawk Down, like the film and everything. Like you play the entire campaign. That's not in the alpha test right now, but it will be coming soon. I know the dev team was talking about it in some of those Q&As, and kind of like what's on the horizon with release updates. And you know, it's funny, while they're actually, you know, I think going to start slowly working towards some extraction here. Something else too that the devs were talking about is also the seasons in the game. You know, like when we talk about what makes a good game, a good title, and the longevity of a title, it's always continual updates. And the dev team's already committed that there'll be a new season every 2 to 3 months. And in those new seasons with new content updates, you can see like new maps, new characters, new weapons each season. It's super, super sick. So I'm really excited to see like what's more on the horizon. And I actually also know that they talked about it even just in the alpha test. There'll actually be another map being dropped for the Havoc Warfare game mode as well. So,
really?
Yeah, we saw Ascension, we saw Cracked, but there's actually going to be a third map apparently that's on the horizon, even in the alpha test. So keep an eye out for that.
Crazy.
I look forward to never playing on it. I'll never leave this mode.
That's why you're here, Taffies. You got to hype up our Tactical Turmoil, aka Hazard Operations.
It's well built, and you know what? My friends who don't play this are going to come out and play this, and that's what I'm excited about. Because like, dragging them out to other extraction shooters is like trying to pull an eye out with a toothpick or something. It's a terrible metaphor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
But like this one, it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's a good time. The gunplay feels incredible. Like that, I think, is my biggest walkaway. Is the gunplay and the TTK feels right on.
Yeah, that's right. It is.
Time to kill for those of you at home.
Yeah, that's right. It's easily one of the cleanest alphas I've played, and I thought I was gonna be a Havoc Warfare fiend, but even after just prepping for this and playing a good bit, I actually really enjoyed this game mode. So I think you might see me get deeper into the extraction.
Out here trying to extract.
I know.
Oh,
hello.
No luck for you, buddy. Silly NPC.
Yeah, I think Shroud's gonna loot up everything he can. He's going to spend the next 12 minutes fully taking this entire map by storm.
And now I don't know how the AI functions in this game, right? New game, we don't really know the details of everything. It's a ground up design. But as far as my job as an extraction expert is to give you guys some tips and tricks here.
Someone's above me.
Never re-peek a NPC from the same spot in an extraction shooter. Generally, when you peek them, they register your last peek location and will target that. So if you re-peek with your heads, you will almost always take one to the forehead. So if you do shoot at them, either body jiggle or go to a new location.
Bam.
And also conserve ammo. Nice headshots down range.
That's just a walkaway tip for this game. Like carry 3 times what you think you do.
And it actually hurts too.
Conserve. I'll say Shroud's been pretty good at that. He is a single tapper for every single NPC.
Well, I guess that's a GG.
That might be
yeah,
a wrap.
I think so.
Yeah, thinking about maybe calling it here. I mean, look at his. I mean, he's packed out. Like he's got every slot filled, and it's not close. But he does have a couple meds, or frankly, a ton of ammo he could drop for more if they do want to loot one more spot. But gonna start moving their.
But it's the age-old question. You're sitting on all this armor. You're sitting in a great position right now with like north of $1 million.
I can drop these attachments.
You should be safe, but all it takes is one stray bullet or someone sitting around a corner to change your game completely. Is it better just to get out?
Yeah. That's definitely a big question mark. If you think you've wiped the lobby, are you sure? Keep throwing those arrows out because whew, you never know.
The attachments are probably what make the gun worth the most. So, if anything,
it is. That's true.
Yeah, drop your meds. Yeah.
Yes, drop your meds, drop your ammunition.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
now they're getting it. Let's do it at extract. He throws everything that is low value on the ground. They give him everything they've got that's good. He'll probably walk out. I would honestly, if they're going to do that strategy with all of his meds and his ammo, they might walk out with almost 2 million.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Silver gun or something instead, you know?
Funny, everyone gets one, but it's different type.
Yeah, give me like a bronze skin or something. All right, here you go. Here's gun.
Here's gun.
Yes.
No, we're gonna put you gotta fit the gun sideways.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can. Again, you're playing inventory Tetris, all right? Start moving those things around, trying to figure out where they can land.
Yep. There you go. Strip those guns. They're getting it.
Yeah, this is something I need to do more. I need to start stripping some weapons.
It's all about the angle, you know.
All right. Well, we made it. Over mill.
How many slots do you have? How many slots?
Two more.
Slots are open. Dump ammo. Dump your green ammo. Dump your green ammo. Well,
9K.
Depending on what they're giving you for it.
I don't know what else to get rid of now.
Let's see.
9 by 19.
Green ammo. No, maybe not. Green ammo is running at about 1,000 per So if you got 60, it's a 60. Okay, never mind. Keep your ammo.
Drop all your 5K.
64 is what they're giving credit for.
Yeah, per, right?
100,
64 per.
6,000.
Hollow.
Less than 6,000, drop them.
Your ammo isn't worth anything technically, so if you want to drop your...
Nope, it's not.
There we go.
And they brought it in. He's right. Any ammo you brought is bound to you, so it will not count as.
Oh,
gained
true.
value.
Yeah, that's a great call, especially when we're kind of like thinking about this in a very tight fashion. I think Landmark's going to take this, but might as well try.
That's
yeah, absolutely.
For an LG.
1.1 mil.
Not enough to win.
Not bad, not bad.
I'm
I'm proud of you too, Shroud.
Well done, my man. Shroud.
we didn't die.
He makes it
They
out.
got in.
Nobody.
30 seconds on the timer when they got into the game.
We did it.
Yeah, and we lost an entire run to that bug as well.
Yeah, I will say too, give him some credit where credit's due. He is technically right now. Landmark did not die. Landmark's teammates went down, which does not count. But Shroud is right. As a team, they technically had the most survivability throughout the day. Now, did they play less games? I don't know. I wasn't watching every single one, but I know he was taking some good, sweet time with his stash between games. So there's a chance. But still, great shout out to Shroud. Great shout out to all of our creators. Overall, a great event thus far. We're not done yet, though. Let's take a quick look back at those games. And I believe we do have an interview right around the corner as well with one of our creators. But very impressed with what they were able to do, and a couple different play styles too. I think we saw, Landmark come in definitely the most kitted, but both Landmark and Shroud staying hyperactive. And then Summit was just like in the blender the whole time, constantly taking and receiving really fights, especially here in this West Wing.
Down, I'm
I also think what we may have seen from Shroud maybe was a symptom of like
Flank dead.
thinking people might die more often. I think his team worked a little slower paced early on, thinking if we are the ones who don't die, we'll win.
Yeah, right.
And didn't expect Landmark and his team to also, because like at the end of the day, if Landmark had died in that fight, their strategy would have worked perfectly, even though they played less games.
Well, here's a quick look at our overall pricing, and as a reminder, started at $20,000, and well, we only lost Summit, and we lost Summit one time, so a total of $19,000, and Landmark, Shroud, no money lost for the team or the overall creator prize pool. Summit did lose that grand, but as a group, $19,000. They still split that in total. They're all splitting it equally, and Landmark and Shroud likely shaking their heads at Summit, but nonetheless, still a sizable prize pool and still a big win for our creators. And who knows, maybe him, the one player that was able to take down Summit and grab that dog tag, might be posting that proof on the timeline, and maybe in that community prize pool of $1,000 could see him walking away with that cash because he got a little active today on the timeline.
Listen, I'm just saying most of these guys are probably going to share the money with their team, right? Which means that he only lost about $100 per person. And I feel like that's better in the pocket of a fan who will tell this story for the rest of their life.
Sure,
Summit that they hunted him down.
Summit did it on purpose. That's what Taffy is saying. All intentional, all right? I like it. I totally agree. Now, folks, I got a couple quick reminders for you. Again, we're going to have an interview set up here shortly with one of our creators, but I need to remind you to wish list Delta Force Hawk Ops. If you enjoyed everything that's going on today, you want to learn more, this is a great way to do so. You're going to get notifications about the game from devs. You're also going to get updates on release times and all of those things. You heard it from Toffees. It's the reason he was able to get his alpha key so quickly is because he had the game wish listed. So make sure you go do that on Steam. But we do have our interview, and I've been talking up this creator today and yesterday as well. My man, Landmark, welcome back to the winner circle. You were disgusting this whole tourney. and I think there is obviously some huge value with you having played quite a bit at this point. So talk to me a little bit about your strategy going into this competition.
So it was pretty much protect the president. I kind of held back and held like the back line while Sheaf and Logical just kind of went ham and killed everyone. That was kind of it, right? It was... I had to try not to die, so they were taking the risks, and I was sitting in the back.
I've watched you play a lot of Extraction, and I was telling Goj it was nice to have you as a VIP because the other guys got to go out there and get a bunch of kills, which was fun to watch.
I was still putting up bodies though. All right.
Hey, you're the only one who survived the last fight.
That's
so
true.
I'm not. Was that tier 5 armor that you were wearing?
Yeah. For the last one, I just kind of went to the auction house and bought like the most expensive stuff I could. So I think it was all tier 5.
See, that's Extraction experience, Goj. So I want to pivot off of that for my next one. You, perhaps more than anybody, have played Extraction shooters. what did you, was there anything in this Delta Force Hawk Ops that you were like, I really kind of like what they've done compared to some of, like, so many of the extractions that have been on the market that I've played in recent past?
I like the interactive features in the raids. I'll call them. There's events that you can activate. There's key cards. You have the safes and the PCs that you can interact with. So all that kind of stuff that's there for you to do and activate and have other players fight over. That's all really cool. It's well done.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see more from you. I think, have you had a chance to actually try out the confidential side of things and paying in and trying to get some Mandel bricks? Because obviously you earned Mandel bricks yesterday. I mean, you're a 2-time winner at this point. I mean, you're the most decorated Delta Force player of all time. So have you tried confidential? Have you gotten some more Mandel bricks?
We haven't yet, but I think that's on the to-do list for today.
I love that, man. Well, a couple more questions for you. I want to hear specifically from you about the game in general. I think, like, you can talk a little trash here. Summit lost you all $1,000 by being taken down. I mean, you talk your trash. Obviously, why was your strategy so much more impressive than maybe what happened on the other side?
No, I don't think it was more impressive. You know, these kind of games, something happens that you can't account for, and you get caught in a bad spot, and you know, it only takes a split second for you to die. So, you know, Summit's a great player, even though he did lose us some money. Right. I'll forgive him.
Rats are gonna rat. That's just extraction.
You know? Can't predict everything.
This. You can't. So I can predict that you'll keep playing this probably today, and I think that people can come watch. And I'll tell you, when you watch Landmark, don't 100% copy him because you're not that good. But if they could ask you something, Landmark, if they could ask you one thing to take with them, as we now have 100,000s of new players into their first round of Delta Force, what would you give as advice to a new player?
For this, definitely be careful around those safes on the map because those are the hot spots, but also don't be afraid to be aggressive. I think people, they join in these games and they get really scared, and sometimes that makes you die. You know, you play too safe and you don't take the opportunities that you should, and you give up free kills.
Yeah, I love that shout. I love that we've got some brand new tips. We were offering some tips in broadcast, but the tips from Landmark himself, definitely the way to go. One more thing for you, man. I want you to go celebrate, have a good time, hang out with your stream. Shout yourself out. Tell people where they can find you. Obviously, you're playing a lot of Delta Force these days. Would love to tell everybody here on Brain Broadcast what you're up to.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Landmark, LVNDMARK. Stream basically every day, so come by, say hello, say what's up, and I'm always around.
Heck yeah. Well, the most decorated Delta Force player of all time. We'll see if maybe in the future somebody can take down your title, my man. Congrats again, and thanks for playing. We'll check you later.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I love it. Toffees, every time we get a chance to talk to Landmark, he's great. And also, I love that question of new tips for players, because there are a lot of new players today, some with a little bit more success than others. But Toffee, give me some takeaways, my man. How'd you feel about your first Delta Force broadcast?
Hey, shout out to Myra on the question, but I got to say, as far as my first broadcast for this game goes, I have done a lot of talking about extraction shooters when they first come out. The smoothness of this game and day one, I think, you know, what Landmark said, the inclusion of mini games to sort of spice things up along the way, letting you choose your own difficulty level with sort of the different ways to sign up for each map. I think these are all really nice steps forward. I have enjoyed, I think I've got about, let's say, conservatively 7 hours in right now, and I have not wanted to stop playing. It was actually difficult to log on for this tonight because we were having so much fun playing on that damn map. So have fun. I think it's great. Get into it. There's so little risk right now of doing this because it's fun to get into. It's just an alpha, which means you have plenty of time to recover before the actual release and get ahead of it. Just do it. Put it on the wish list.
Yeah, put it on the wish list. I love that, Toffees. It was a pleasure casting all the action and hearing all of your expertise here in the booth. We're going to let you go, but I really appreciate you joining the broadcast.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Well, we have had a blast. Day 2 of our events have been amazing. We've been able to see both game modes, and I gotta say, I had a blast in both. I don't even know if I have a favorite, but I do have a couple more asks of you, and this one's very simple. We've been telling you to do it all day. Toffees even said it before I could. Go wishlist Delta Force Hawk Ops right now. You can head over to Steam, type in Delta Force Hawk Ops, and click that wishlist button. A great way to get updates on the game, what's coming down the line. It'll go straight to your inbox, and it's just a great way to support the game. If you're having fun, go go wishlist to support the game, support the devs. It's been a blast thus far, and we want to continue to support them and also stay up to date on all of those topics and all of those release dates we've been talking about. But also, you can do that also by joining the Discord and following Delta Force on all major socials. This is a key thing. They've got a lot going on. We've got events like this, by the way, where you could have maybe walked away with a dog tag and $1,000 if you'd been paying attention to those socials. So go drop a follow wherever you can find Delta Force on all those major socials and in that Discord where we've got Q&As, we've got communities, and I think there's like 100, maybe 125,000, maybe more than that now. I need to go recheck in the Discord. There's so many community members all loving the game. Maybe you can meet some new friends and drop into some of these new game modes. But we got more down the line as well. First and foremost, if you missed yesterday, if you missed Havoc Warfare and what Landmark was able to do against Nicewig, we're actually going to rebroadcast that right after this broadcast. We're about to close here. You're going to see us go live again, rebroadcasting that incredible competition. So you can learn a little bit more about what Delta Force has to offer just by staying here in the Twitch chat when that goes live right after this. And then we'll also be live again August 12th, 8 p.m. PT. It's a little bit later. It's like yesterday. You're going to want to tune in for that. We're going to have another live developer interview that you're not going to want to miss. This is a great way to learn more about what's on the horizon for potential new content and things down the line. All things Delta Force. We will get your questions answered with our developer interview. That's August 12th at 8 p.m. PT here live on Twitch. So make sure you drop a follow here. I've been telling you to do that all day. That's a great way to get some more info all live. So a lot going on with Delta Force. We've had a blast here in the booth, but folks, we are going to close it out. So thank you for being here. Production team, everyone behind the scenes, our creators, you all made that possible, but we couldn't do that without you, the viewers. So thanks for being here, and make sure you tune in again August 12th, 8 p.m. PT. And good luck with all of your Delta Force adventures. I'm sure you're going to have a blast. But until next time, we'll see you then.
Fucking shit, messed up, nice.
Outside somewhere or something. I killed two,
Okay.
White.
I have no healing.
Yo, I just killed the player. Full dead.
He's down.
Nice.
That's.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend.
I see.
Oh, he's got a bolty. Ow. Close to me.
Yeah,
That
back
one?
to your loader now.
That one?
Play your life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come to you. Is that yours or?
Yeah, he hit my trap. My trap's hitting him in that pipe.
Killed no one. Okay, the squad's dead. The west squad.
Got him.
Another one down. Finish. I'm down. No way, bro. And I'm dead.
Gear vibe. Careful.
I fucked him up, but I'm hurt. Or I'm dead. AV.
Fucking beast.
No Summit Dad today.
Yeah, it might be like a mission or something.
Team.
Oh, what?
Knocked another. I think we hunt.
Yeah, here, to the right. Let me. Oh.
Nice. Knocked. There's only one left.
Mike here.
Yeah.
Dude, my whole screen just freaking blurry.
Dead.
Got him. Yo, a guy on the outside of the wall right here. I knocked the guy.
He's
Nice.
down.
Get an angle on him. Dead. That's
Nice.
squad's dead.
Knocked one in the... I killed the guy in the corner.
Careful.
I downed one.
No guy right on me. Down. I'm gonna die here. Down one. Down.
Flank one. Flank dead.
Full team. I'm gonna be dead here.
Don't tap this job, bro.
I'm
Don't let
dead.
him.
I'm dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.